what you were doing, and you were everything to me. You took my breath to breathe. I gave it up so willingly, and you held me like a hand and led me on to no man's land. What were you doing? What were you doing? I don't think intentions and discretion were your friends. I don't think a lot of things inside this empty head. I don't think you knew. I don't think you knew how much I loved you. And you were everything to me. You took my breath to breathe. I gave it up so willingly, and you held me like a hand and led me on to no man's land. What were you doing? Time has a way of slowing down when things hurt the most, and I'm constantly thinking about you. And if you cared about the little things like you said you did, then you'd have known all along that I'd never doubt you. Oh, I'd never.
I'm obese, shoot me in the belly.
Look at all the space I'm creating, everybody!
Bad monkey, bad. Oh, you got you baited so hard. I don't think I can handle any more of this bot gameplay.
Spilo.
Alright, hey mates, let's get some coaching going. So we only, as usual, the one coaching session directly into Roast My Highlight Discord in the hashtag Overwatch Highlights channel. Put your best and your worst highlights in there. And remember, we're always aiming for not necessarily the 5Ks, just super entertaining, super interesting, super funny, super bad, super good, and so on. So we'll be looking at that a little bit later. Hope everyone's doing well. Hello, EU famous 808 runner. You hate that one streamer that streams at one game? Yes, I am. Hey sisters, song name No Man's Land! Album. Hello everybody, Spilo stream Pog. Hey, so one streamer that streams at one game. You guys are killing me. Cat Jam Man releases an album, doesn't use it in his own stream. Ha ha ha. Everyone put your funds on. Hello, Varashi, Spoons, Virulence, Jiggery Sup. Hey, recently good to see. No, Spilo. Indeed. Okay, let's hey Lockie. Okay, let's do this. No, been such a long time as the shrieking weird electronic one that probably doesn't actually fit on the album, but it's the ugly stepchild that we let in there because it's nice. Hello Spoons, thank you for the sub. It's gaming time. It is indeed. I'm already running late with the previous session because the previous two sessions were running late. Guys, I have so much to talk about. We're gonna have to wait and just hold on to your butt cheeks. Okay, that seems to be the theme for the of the week. Hold on to your butt cheeks should have been the title of the stream. The title of the stream and the album.
Ugly Spet Children are my favorite.
Ugly Spet Children? Ugly spet children. Ah, I'm glad when people make typos. I like making fun of people. All right, let's go. Hey, how's it going?
It's going good.
Appreciate you being patient. Sorry about that. We had 2 sessions that ran a little over previous to that. So, okay. Do you have a code for me?
I do.
Brilliant. So I just know that I'm on stream now, that this code isn't going to work. The previous 2 worked fine. Watch this chat. Watch this. It's not going to work. 38, JK7, Dorado, right?
Yeah.
Watch, applying update book. Here it comes. Ah! It worked.
Nice.
Nice. See, that's what happens. You expect the worst, and the game just has to prove you wrong. So that's all we really care about. Okay. So okay, let's look at your form. Give me a second. Getting this. So what rank? And is this all Ashe?
It's Ashe and Tracer, and this is Plat 1.
Okay.
I peaked Diamond 4 this season, but
Nice.
I kind of stopped playing a little bit because this season's not the best.
Okay. Let me update my commands here as I get your form pulled up. So let's just start with this one. What got you interested in coaching here?
I've played like with a team from time to time. I'm currently on a team, but it's nothing like crazy. But I really like there's no game like Overwatch. Like no game feels like Overwatch, you know. And like especially when it's played at like a higher level, it feels so good because it's such a nice mix between thinking and hitting your shots, you know. It's very nice.
Okay.
And so yeah, I just want to improve.
Sure.
I really like the game, so.
Okay, fair enough. So I guess piggybacking onto that, do you want to share your Overwatch history with me? Everybody has a history, like what got them into the game, how long have they been playing, where your ranks have fluctuated, your heroes have fluctuated, your hero pools, your favorite metas, least favorite metas, so on. Fill me in.
So I was a not console Overwatch, but I was Xbox kid for like most of my childhood, and then I got a PC for Christmas where I got a laptop, and my friend bought me Overwatch. Because I had like kind of watched Overwatch content from time to time. I thought it was cool. Yeah. And then he got it to me, and I was hard stuck bronze for like 3 or 4 seasons.
When was this?
This was like 2020, early 2020.
Okay.
And then I kept playing a little bit, climbed out of bronze.
Congrats.
I got to like gold or something on my main account and all my roles, and then I made a second account and I hit diamond on tank and support. And then I kind of played on that account, and then I climbed my main out of gold. And then
it's funny how that works sometimes.
Yeah, it is.
It's like the pressure's off, so you're just like, oh, I'm good at this game. Whoopsies.
Right. And then once I hit diamond on tank on my main account, that was towards the end of Overwatch 1. And I kind of just stopped playing Overwatch 1 because it was very dead at that point. This was like March of this year.
Okay.
And I was on a team at the time. And I was playing off tank.
Interesting.
And then the betas came out, and I really loved it. I thought it was extremely fun, like a nice, fresh version of the game. Played all the betas, and then the game came out, and I decided to swap over to DPS, and I hit diamond on DPS for the first time.
Okay. So I want to not nitpick, but discuss those swaps here. So what caused that role swap for you? I'm sure it was a couple of things, but like what was the driving force behind that?
Really just the off tank not being a thing anymore.
Okay.
That was always my favorite part about playing tank, especially because I was a diva main. Like your main tank can just go mess around, do whatever, and you can actually have impact. But now you have to play the main tank role, and to an extent. But yeah, so I was just kind of swapped over to
So
DPS.
let me ask you a question. Was it more of the play style adjustment of the tanks that you enjoyed playing, or the fact that you didn't think that the tanks that you were playing were as strong, if that makes any sense?
It was more so the playstyle adjustment, because whenever I play diva, like I can carry games, like it's not hard, but it's just it's not the same as off tank in Overwatch 1. So
fair enough. Part of that may be your impression is not entirely accurate, but I do think that there has been something of a playstyle adjustment. So I don't think that's necessarily an inaccurate thing to say. And obviously, if you are enjoying DPS, and I assume you are, then there's no roll with it, right? It's not as if I can climb to masters on DPS and I guess I'll never be able to play tank again. I mean, if we ever get to that road, skills carry over, right? So
yeah.
Okay. So you transitioned, was this Overwatch 2 to DPS? how has the ride been? Why hit scan? Besides, I have aim heroes, and it sounds like in Overwatch 1. So why hit scan? Why Ashe? Why Tracer? How's it been going? Fill me in on all the details.
Well, the main reason that I play the heroes that I do is just because I like them. The 4 heroes that I play the most are Tracer, Ashe, Sojourn, and Echo. I just think they're all really fun heroes.
Okay.
And Sojourn's very strong.
Okay, love it. I mean, that's always the most important thing, right? You enjoy the heroes, you play the heroes. Perfect. You said you played on a team, or you do play on a team, or you have in the past. What got you started with that? How long did you continue with that? Did you enjoy it? Just, I guess, give me the pass with that one, please.
Well, when I started climbing on Overwatch 1, and I hit Diamond for the first time, I was like, oh, I'm actually pretty decent at this game. And I kind of got a taste of like higher level Overwatch, obviously not like, super high rank, but I was playing in Diamond games and I was like, oh, this is a lot more like I have to really think about what I'm doing. My positioning actually kind of matters.
Right.
And a friend of mine, he was friends with somebody on a team and they needed a ringer for off tank, and so I played with them and I really liked everybody. Really liked the feel of the team environment. And that was when I wanted to go pro. I started playing on a team and I was like, oh, this is great. I'm going to be pro.
Yeah.
And then I kept playing and I was like, this is maybe not a little realistic.
Okay. Now let me ask you, let me stop you right there. So
Okay.
I think this is important. So when you backed off the dream to go pro, was it because I'm not good enough or I'm not seeing myself improve fast enough for that to be a realistic dream? Or it's like, I don't know if I would enjoy playing the game that much to be pro?
A little bit of both. A little bit of the amount of time that I would need to invest into this to actually go pro is kind of unrealistic.
Okay.
And a little bit of, if I was sitting there grinding the game for 8 to 10 hours a day, I would probably just lose interest. So.
Okay. Fair enough. Sounds good. Okay. And so then, are you with a team currently right now?
Yes.
Okay. And you're playing hit scan, I assume, or DPS, whatever. And that's all going well?
Yeah, it's going well.
Okay. How often do you guys scrimmage?
We scrim 2 times a week-ish.
Really? That's awesome.
Yeah.
Especially for like what I assume this is like a diamond team, something like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Diamond.
That's crazy. That's really, really good. Okay, perfect. So 4 hours of scrimming. Nice. Let's take a look at your form here. So what do you hope to get out of the session? And in the forum you say a clear understanding of how to improve and what to improve on. And obviously when we ask you why you wanted coaching, that's kind of what you said. You like the game, want to get better. Okay. Clear understanding of how to improve and what to improve on. That is fair enough and clear enough. Don't think we need to elaborate on that one much more. But let's look at your goals here. Okay. So short-term, Diamond 2, Masters 5, long-term, GM Top 100. So you're like, I don't want to go pro, but there's a chance that I'll enjoy the game well enough and I'll be good enough at some point for me to hit Grandmaster.
Yeah, pretty much.
Fair enough. So let's look at your training to see if that's reasonable to get there. Now you have one of the most succinct and straightforward answers to this question I've ever received. What does your typical training week look like? 1 to 2 hours a day.
Yeah.
How is that time invested? Ranked, warm up, quick play. How do you spread your hours on the heroes, and then incorporate scrim? And how consistent is it? Right.
So it's pretty consistent. Some days I'll do a little bit shorter, but usually what happens is I'll go to work, get home from work, chillax, eat dinner, and then I'll warm up on AimLab for like 15 and 20 minutes. I have like a little playlist, whatever, that I go through. Just helps me, just warm up a little bit, and then I'll get on. And if I'm still feeling like a little slow, maybe I'll play a game quick play just to kind of get my mind going, and then. But usually I'll just go right into ranked. Usually play for, like I said, an hour to 2 hours.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good. And then when you're playing ranked, you talked about 4 specific heroes: Sojourn, Echo, Ashe, Tracer. What is the rhyme or reason between picking and not picking those heroes? Obviously you enjoy all of them, but do you play all of them every day? Is it just depends on the map, depends on the situation, just pick whatever feels good?
It's pretty map based, I'd say. Like on the more long range maps I'll play Ashe or Sojourn, and on like the closer, usually cough maps or like push, I'll play Tracer and Echo.
Okay.
But it also does depend. Like if I'm feeling really good on Tracer that day, I'll just hard lock Tracer.
Okay, sounds good. Sounds good. Quick little tidbit on the aim labs thing. So I think that's totally fine. Like especially because you're not investing a ton of time into it. But have you tried other aim trainers or other warm ups? And what has your experience been with them, if so?
I've tried a couple of like aim trainers in game.
Mm-hmm.
There's the one I think it's Vaxta.
Mm-hmm.
That one's I do enjoy that one.
Okay.
But for the most part, it's for the most part I just use aim labs just to kind of just warm up my hand, you know.
Why? Is it just feel like there's more directive with what you're doing rather than just kind of mindlessly aiming in Vaxta?
Yeah, pretty much, because especially like I have the playlist that I do, it has a lot of different routines, like a lot of ones that require like a lot of mouse movement.
Mm-hmm.
There's like it goes from like a tracking to a flicking to a really fast-paced one to
Okay.
you have to hit a bunch of move, you know. So it's
Okay.
just kind of like a variety of things to help warm up. You know?
Yes. Have you ever played Tryhard?
Try hard free for all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have.
Okay. Okay. What did you think?
It's good. It's also a good warm up.
Okay. Something to consider. Something to consider. I mean, I can see the Vaxta being dull. I know it gets dull for me as well, but I think Tryhard does provide what you were saying Aim Labs has in terms of the varieties and the aggressive movement necessary, and also like it's got to feel pretty realistic. So that might be something to consider. I mean, if you like Aim Labs, if it works well for you, fine. But certainly, if you're talking about that one quick play game to kind of get your brain warmed up, if those days ever feel like they appear. Definitely insert. I would definitely insert Tryhard into there instead of quick play.
Okay.
Okay. So 1 to 2 hours a day. Now, it doesn't sound like that's that's super crazy or anything. However, that is actually a pretty serious variance. 1 to 2 hours is talking about 100% increase from 1 to 2, right? So how often are we hitting 1? How often are we hitting 2? And on the average week, like as obviously every week is going to depend, but as detailed as you can, what does it generally look like Monday, Tuesday through Saturday, Sunday?
So I have every Monday and Thursday off. So on Mondays and Thursdays, I'll usually go like around 3 hours, maybe a little bit more.
Okay.
If it was a long day at work, I'll usually play for at least an hour. There's not many days that I don't play for at least an hour.
Okay.
I'd say average per day just is 1.5 hours.
Okay. Now we're talking about masters, right?
Right.
It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. So my goal here is to not necessarily push you to play more, but to see what fat we can cut off. You know what I'm saying? And to give you specific goals with your practice so that we could be as most efficient as we possibly can with the time that you're giving yourself. The 3 hours on the off days sounds good. I don't think there's a huge benefit to grinding to try and catch up on the days where you weren't able to play, right? Like 3 hours is still a lot of playing of ranked. And then after that, maybe you're not able to play as intensely. So 3 hours is fine. 1.5 hours, if we're able to do that on a daily basis, is also okay, right? We're talking, what is that, 5 games usually? Okay, so 4 or 5 games. It's not terrible. As long as you're really putting in the effort there and the focus, and you have a specific goal, it could be okay. Maybe that's why I bring up the aim labs thing just a little bit. Not because I don't think warm up is important, but if you're on such a tight time schedule as it is, it's going to be important to be really efficient with that.
That's fair.
So something to experiment with, I think, more so than thing is bad or good. And then the last thing, this is probably the most painful thing that I have to bring up, is your hero pool. Your hero pool is not exactly monstrous. It's very reasonable, and even better, it's heroes that you enjoy playing. And even better than that, it's heroes that have different dynamics and different strengths and weaknesses. But the problem, as you can probably guess, is you're playing approximately twice as many heroes as optimal for the amount of time that you're playing.
Right.
Because the optimal thing is that you want to aim for around the number of hours you play on an average a day. Like, even if we're giving you a little bit of grace here, 2 hours a day, right? That means 2 heroes. So, and now I will say that that's more of a min-max mindset, which may not be necessary with you, but it's just something to consider. You're not going to be getting 2 games per hero per day, and that's really what we want to try and be aiming for. So that's going to be something that you're going to have to kind of figure out on your own. Now, I've talked frequently about dynamic hero pools where you focus on 2 or 3 on a month-to-month basis based off of meta or what you're feeling at the time. Maybe that's something that would help you out. So where, okay, I'm not playing Tracer or I'm not playing Echo or I'm not playing Ashe. Yeah, but I will play Ashe or Echo in the future. It just depends on how the meta goes or how I feel. Do you kind of see what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that's actually a big reason behind at least my hero pool right now, because I feel comfortable on like every single hero in the roster except for 2. Like
Right.
I feel comfortable using their mechanics.
Yeah.
Obviously not as well versed on some of them, but yeah, it's usually just I will say I play Tracer and Ashe significantly more than I play Sojourn and Echo.
Okay.
I'll usually I haven't played Echo a lot this season because she's not amazing. Whenever I'd play Echo, I could usually just play Tracer.
Okay. Okay. Something to consider. Even if it's not like you said, not I am already focusing on, so and so heroes, just something to consider.
Right.
And I will say as well, you're like, oh, I'm comfortable with all the heroes, so I'm kind of already sort of implementing dynamic hero pools, because if I wanted to, I could be playing Cassidy Junkrat, you know what I'm saying? Well,
Right.
Here's the question for you. Could you play it to a D1 level?
Probably not.
Yeah. And that's where we want to go, right? That's our
Right.
goal here, right? So, I mean, maybe you drop it to become a Junkrat one trick, but like for right now, we need to actually get you good at a couple of 2 or 3 heroes first, and then we can make adjustments from there. There's nothing wrong with changing up your hero pool, right? You'll maintain a lot of skill. The point is that we need to at least put some level of intensity on the heroes before we move on. Okay, let's keep looking here. So, hero pool, we already talked a lot about this one already. Sleep looks pretty good. Well done. And then the last question here, and this is always the most important one, is I feel like I need a refreshed view of the game in terms of what do you feel is holding you back. That is an odd answer. Please elaborate.
So I feel like I'm plateauing sort of. Like when I try to VOD review myself, I kind of don't really know what to look for. And like when I'm playing games, like especially if I'm like hard focused, whenever I'll die, I'll think about it. I'll be like, okay, why did I die there? Was it my fault? Was it somebody else's fault? But I have a hard time knowing what I should focus on.
Okay. So it's a difficult thing. I did a video on this. I don't know if you've seen it, on how to VOD review yourself, but I think one thing you have to be really careful about is focusing only on the deaths, because even the fact that you said that first is a little bit, I wouldn't say a red flag, it's just a yellow flag. Because what's the problem with only focusing on deaths? What's your job as a DPS?
Pressure.
Right, pressure. I mean, actually, that's a bit of a catch question, because really, what's my job as a Mercy player? Ironically, pressure, right?
Right.
I heal the people that do pressure, or I damage boost the people that do pressure, right? And it's the job as a tank. It's every hero in the game needs to be outputting as much pressure as possible.
Right.
And when you die, that's either where you just made a really stupid decision in some way, shape, or form, or you mispositioned or whatever, or you pushed too hard on the pressure and broke it, right? When you needed to ease back just a little bit and then be more consistent with it. And so when you ask yourself, oh, why did I die there? The problem with that is that tunnels you onto only looking at the fights where you died and not at the fights where maybe you died or the fight was already lost. Well, but could you have put more pressure leading up to that? Could you have put more pressure in that fight? You know what I'm saying? Could you have been positioned in a better position to hit more shots, or could you have used your cooldowns differently? Could you have been shooting different targets that would have output more pressure? Could you have used your ultimate better? That's the question, and that's how you need to be reviewing yourself. What is the most pressure that I could have put out? Now, here's the honest answer here, is you're not going to always know the answer to that question. Do you know what I'm saying? But at the very least, you're putting yourself on a path to learning how to play the game better by asking yourself questions. For example, if I ask you as an Ashe player, what puts out the most pressure as an Ashe player? Hitting a dynamite on a tank or hitting a dynamite in a squishy?
Squishy.
Okay, let me ask you another question. What's going to put out more pressure? Allow you to put out more pressure? Hitting a dynamite on the enemy backline or hitting a dynamite on the tracer that's diving you?
Probably the tracer.
Ooh, why?
Because if I can force the tracer off me, that allows me to go back to putting pressure onto the back line.
Brilliant answer, by the way. I was not expecting you to get that one correct. Yes, exactly. But you see now how we're expanding our understanding of the game by looking at it from the proper standpoint.
Yeah.
Right? Because why are corners important for an Ashe player?
For cover.
Why is cover important?
Because she's not very mobile.
Right. Okay. So why is not being very mobile a problem?
You can get dove very easily.
Why is getting dove a problem? You see,
because you die.
But why is dying a problem?
Because then you can't put pressure.
Yeah. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Everything comes back to pressure and keeping your uptime, and not only your uptime of pressure, but actually like the ultimately pressure leads to kills, and kills leads to winning team fights, and that's why we worry about pressure, right? So that's why we consider positioning and cooldown usage and cover and ultimate usage, because we want to maximize the pressure output, minimize the risk to ourselves, so that we can continue to put out more pressure and get more kills. Okay. Do you have any questions before we hop into the review? I don't feel like I fully answered that question, but I want to make sure.
No, not that I can think of. If I do think of something, I'll stop you.
And I want you to really keep that in mind. I feel like you need a refresh view of the game. I'm going to ask you a lot of questions in game, but if you feel like there is something that you're not sure on, just scream and we'll pause and we'll go over it in game. Sound good?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, let's get started here. So Platinum Ashe, is this Ashe mostly, or is there, you said Tracer in this one as well?
Or just mostly Ashe on defense and mostly Tracer on attack.
Okay, brilliant. Let's get started. So we already kind of brought this up already, but what is Ashe good at?
Pressure.
Okay, pressure. Right.
long sight lines.
Yeah. It's all about like where do you want to put pressure? Yeah, legitimately longer sight lines. Now they have a very tricky, awkward thing on their enemy team, the Widow.
Yeah.
Why is that a factor? Obviously.
Well, she beats me in long sight lines.
So then, how does that adjust your positioning?
Makes me have to force like more mid to close sight lines.
Right, because you can't put out pressure on a Widowmaker on the enemy team without avoiding that Widowmaker sightline, right?
Right.
Or at least getting close enough to her to where you're better at the duel, and therefore you control the pressure there. So, okay, so we'll play her on the Widow hopefully, and then that's all I got. Let's watch.
Okay.
Now, you rotate to your right here. Why? Obviously.
Well, to avoid the Widow.
Right, and yet you can still put up damage. Right? This is good. Good. This is a good general question, because you're talking about a hero that generally will have a lot of opportunities to shoot different targets. So, this is a great frame right here. Now you have an opportunity here to peek down, peek D.Va, to shoot Reaper, to shoot Widow. Why do you shoot the Reaper here? When do you shoot squishies over tanks?
When they have a higher kill threat.
Sure. I mean, compare this.
Overextended.
Compare this. I love this. Okay, what does overextended mean? This is something I've been asking in a lot of my sessions recently. What does overextended mean for a tank support DPS? What does it mean?
When you're, I kind of like to. There's kind of like a line between your tank and the enemy tank, sort of. It's not really, but when you push outside of your team's control.
Yes, that's such a good analogy, and we can see it right here. Look at this Reaper's aggression compared to the rest of his team. Do you see this? His D.Va's out. Mercy is kind of feeding. Ana's MIA. Widow's across the map. Who's the most aggressive member of the enemy team right now?
The Reaper.
And undeservedly so. Right, or the Mercy. Both of those guys are out of position because their aggression is disproportionate to their team's positioning right now. If Reaper was going in, the funny thing is this Reaper could be on top of your backline right here and not be out of position if the D.Va was in.
Right.
Do you see what I'm saying? And now, if the D.Va flies in right now and the Reaper's all the way over here, now it's the D.Va who's out of position. We saw that a second ago, didn't we? She got chunked, right?
Right.
That's the out of position. And the reason why that's important for you is your ability to identify who is out of position is how you deal the most pressure, right? How you punish enemy mistakes and how you get kills, because this Reaper is not going to get help. Okay, let's watch. Now, I'm gonna be real. I don't like this that much. I think this is a confidence in your mechanics, which I do like, but I just don't like this because this is just not a fair fight. I love dueling Widow, but not at this range, right? Because even if I don't know if you even get the kill here of the damage boost. I think maybe fall off, maybe you do. Right? Yeah, exactly, right there.
Right.
You don't get it, right? I mean, you have to be 3 times better than she is, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think I respect the ego, but not at this range. Not at this range.
Okay.
Lazy.
Yeah.
Worthless pressure. Worthless pressure. There is nothing wrong with doing nothing with the cooldown if you think that the pressure from it is not going to be, because this isn't like a Orisa Javelin on a 6-second cooldown, you know, where okay, sometimes you're going to get punished for spamming it, but mostly it's going to be available pretty soon. This is a 12-second cooldown. Let me tell you right now, who should you be dynamiting right now?
The Reaper.
Maybe you just shoot the Reaper. Maybe you just shoot the Reaper, right? Okay, but let's keep watching. Who could you be dynamiting right now?
Their backline or
yeah,
the Reaper.
You could be peeking, or the Reaper. You know, maybe okay, the Widow's a problem. Okay, just throw the dynamite right here, hit the Reaper. That would be really, really annoying. That would be really, really annoying, right? And that has to be better already than what we would have seen for the D.Va. And the funny thing is,
the 30 chip damage.
Right, exactly. Now the funny thing here is this is actually you've had no good opportunities for dynamite afterwards, and yet the dynamite and the Reaper still would have been better. This is like worst case scenario. 9 times out of 10, you and I both know that there's going to be a better dynamite opportunity than dynamiting the Reaper here. But this is still better than what you did. So even in the worst case scenarios, that's just not an acceptable use of the cooldown.
Yeah.
Nice. I really, really love this. This is brilliant. Idiot. Okay. And this is where doing this makes a lot more sense, right? She's obviously under pressure, but even if she wasn't under pressure, this would be less of an ego duel because she's actually tappable, you know?
Right.
Unfortunate. Whatever. Intention there was fine. Probably not necessary, but whatever. I don't know. Just feels like a little bit lazy, right? Because if I were to ask you who is this dynamite aimed for, I don't know. Maybe the Mercy. It kind of felt like you saw red, you know, and you just kind of threw it. But okay, unfortunate. Okay, so
stuff on the wall.
Yeah. You goof it. Ah! Stop it. Scope. Why are you unscoping now when you had a baby D.Va in front of your face and you were so intent on scoping? It seems a bit backwards. Yeah. Okay. Killing me.
Lazy again. Yeah.
Really lazy. Really lazy. Like, you have already shown that you at least have competent mechanics for your rank. Your mechanics don't seem to be a weakness. And yet you're wasting that by looking like bad mechanic Andy with that kind of crap. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's frustrating. So, for me, if I were you, I would be frustrated so far because I feel like I have put immense pressure and yet we've still lost. Yet if you put yourself under the microscope a little bit, you can see that you've really choked at crucial moments, whether it was hitting the dynamites at the right time, wasting them entirely, and then like the baby D.Va remake, like some questionable decisions with your gun. So that kind of stinks, but also at the same time, there's room for improvement. Now, let's keep watching, and let's see if some of these things continue to rear their ugly head.
Okay.
Gonna still be rather difficult here, isn't it? Now, let me ask you a question. Should you take this duel?
I think this one's not awful because
I think so too.
It's pretty close.
Yeah, this could be even where you throw out your dynamite and just do this, right? It's where it feels impossible to hit a shot, but you're able to blow up the dynamite. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, I think this seems very reasonable. It's a neutral fight with the damage boost here. So
yeah,
considering she's taking chip damage, now be careful now, right? Because you got a tank in your face and she doesn't. So
yeah.
Be really careful about your ammo usage into the D.Va dive here. Be really careful. It's not a major thing, but it is. It's like a Winston jumpsuit. You know, you just start spamming M1 on his bubble. It's just not worth it. It's just not worth it. It's a micro thing, but it is definitely something that's going to come up a lot in your play. Or like spamming M1 unscoped into a Orisa Fortify, right? Like, there's a lot of tank analogies that we could pull from here. Ha ha ha.
Yeah, I remember that one.
So what's the mistake here? Because it's actually a very micro mistake, but it's actually very, like the D.Va, very, very relevant. Because it's not just a Widow. This would be a problem versus a Sombra, a Tracer, a Genji, actually a lot of things. Even a Roadhog, actually. So look at what you're doing here. Do you see the problem?
Jumping?
Jumping. not so much. No.
Or is it just just pushed too
Where's
far
the
out?
Widow?
She's bottom right.
Did you
But I
know that
didn't-
at this point in time?
No. Yeah.
So
I
what's the
didn't.
problem with scoping?
I see. I'm scoping, but without knowing where my threats are.
Correct.
Okay.
So then what's the problem with scoping? It cuts off your LOS, but also
Right.
look at your hitbox.
Yeah.
You stop moving, right? You slow down your movement significantly, which makes it a lot easier for this Widow to hit the shot. If you are unscoped scouting, even if that means you don't do any damage for a couple seconds, that's okay, right? That's okay. And it's the same thing applies when we talk about Roadhog, we talk about Tracer one clipping you. Anything is going to be, if you don't have an idea of where those threats are and you just scope in anyway, you tunnel vision yourself and you make it easier for those heroes to kill you, right?
Right.
So very, very micro detail, but worth pointing out. So this is good, right? This is good. Widow has to aggressively peek into you to contest you here, and yet who's going to be doing more damage on this position, which is where we're fighting?
Definitely me.
Definitely you, right? So obviously we don't get the stop cart early, but that doesn't really matter. Theoretically, all things equal, this should be crucial. Now let me ask you an important question, which really we haven't really brought up yet. When we're considering positioning and what your job is right now, what is the most important factor right now? Not the Widow. Okay, ignore the Widow duel. At this particular point in the fight, not this particular, like, duel.
That's a hard one.
It's a forest for the trees. Let's put it that way. It's actually absurdly simple.
Is it just Bob?
Yeah, it's just Bob.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, yeah,
there's
that
not
makes
really
sense.
been an opportunity to use it up to this point, of course. Because there's not really been a fight, and obviously where you'd want to place them hasn't really... You've not been able to get them on the backline. So, you're here. You're going to back up a point. But even now, you should be thinking about it, correct?
Mhm.
So, is there a good opportunity to Bob right now?
Not right now.
Not right now, no. But as soon as you can, if this cart pushes up any further, if you hear Sleep Dart, or even if you don't hear Sleep Dart, but this backline walks up, yoink, and then, something to consider. Questionable from that diva. She should die for it. And, hey, we predicted this, didn't we? She has to do this, otherwise you're going to out-trade her. And we're very comfortable. You're killing me. What's the problem?
I didn't even think about my dynamite. I just tossed it.
Yeah, yeah. And that's not the only thing that's killing me right now. You're killing me with this too. Oh, you get so fortunate. Oh, you get so lucky. There is just almost no effort put into this Bob whatsoever.
No. It's
You just
trucking
run it
out.
on mid, and I thought for certain it was going to catch the payload. I thought for certain it was going to hit this front tire and just sit there like an idiot, and then just completely waste it. Whereas, what should you have done? Let's you know what? Let's wrap this all up into a nice tidy bundle. Right now, what's the play?
Would Bob now be the plan?
Sure. How? Where? From when? When? From where? Excuse me.
I could either walk up a little bit and throw it kind of in the corner with the stairs.
Yes, right here.
Like
Why
that?
not here?
Yeah.
And then what about your dynamite from here?
It'd be huge on the back line.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Do you see how those things are tied up into each other?
Mhm.
Now, I'm not just making that point about Dynamite and Bob. I'm making that point about your entire playstyle. It's you need to be thinking ahead of time, what do I want to do this? Don't just use the Dynamite. Don't just use the Bob.
Right.
Think about them. Now, what if you didn't have Bob here? I still wonder where's the best use of Dynamite right now, Maybe take a shot and then go, okay, there's Matrix. Maybe I could Dynamite this Reaper, right? Maybe I could walk forward and drop a Dynamite on the Widow or Ana that's dropped. I don't know, but you're not thinking about it. You're just pressing. You're going through the motions, right? With your Dynamite and with your Bob. And now this Bob, how does she miss the Sleep Dart? What? Is this me and Ana? Oh my goodness! It actually looks like it goes through Bob. She gets robbed. Bob jukes her. He bumps off the payload. So this Bob ends up being really in an exceptional position. It could be a better spot. But boy, yeah, you get zero credit for that. Stop him scoping. And shockingly, the Bob works. Reaper's just... Haha. Too far.
Yeah.
Too far.
Yeah.
Ego. And she also had tank help, and you didn't either. Like, that diva could use all of her matrix on her with zero repercussions. So, just ego. Lazy ego.
Yeah. Right.
Making me go all Marge Simpson on you. You're killing me with the unscoped as well. Like, you're actually completely tanking your effective DPS. Now, to my knowledge, unscoped, I'm fairly certain, does slightly more DPS technically on a 12 bullet standpoint, but it doesn't factor in reloads, and it doesn't factor in the enhanced accuracy from actually scoping in, right?
Right.
So this is it's really, really, really poor. This diva would be definitely out of armor range, probably out of down to like 250 HP, and I don't know why you dropped either. I don't know if the Mercy kind of spooked you and you thought she was a Widow, but this is frustrating to say the least.
Right.
Wow, who would have thought being on the floor? Now let me ask you a question: How did he get to that position?
Well, because high ground was just free.
Right, right. Shocking, really. Okay, let's keep watching. And obviously, if we consider things from a pressure standpoint, what is your pressure at this point in time?
It's none.
Right, marginal.
Yeah.
Not even mad about that dynamite. At least there was intention with that dynamite. I mean, it's a nano Reaper, but it's still damage, so sure.
Right.
I'm fine with it. Nice. Very reasonable, right? That's a 50-50 at best. I might even say you had a slight advantage in that.
Right.
So, you're respectfully an idiot. But,
Yeah.
you know, whatever. That just felt like just a goof. Nice. Good use of unscope there. We just didn't hit the shot, but that at least makes sense, right? Don't ego, please. Don't scope. You don't know where she is. Okay. Nope. Too far of a range. You know she's fallen. Stop spamming unscoped into a diva matrix. You're killing me. No! No!
Yeah.
Wait for it. How soon before we get a better dynamite opportunity? Right there. There it was. There's your dynamite.
Yeah.
Ah! No! You're causing me physical injury. You know what's funny is we've definitely you know what's here's what's great though. We've kind of figured it out. Your mechanics are not a weak point. Okay, I would say your mechanics are better than your rank. I would go as far to say. But what has been the problem, at least so far in this VOD?
Just not thinking about my abilities.
Not
Or,
thinking
like,
about your abilities. Not thinking about your
like in
ultimates.
general.
Right,
You know,
right. In
I'm
general.
just autopilot.
In general, exactly. So I'm going to be honest with you. Do you think that this is a mental problem, or is it partially also an understanding problem? Is it a little bit of both? Like, we're talking about why are you spamming unscoped fire shots into Diva? Is that just a bad habit that you have, or is it just this particular game, or in a lot of your games, you're just not thinking?
I guess it's kind of just like when you mentioned it, when I think about it, like it makes sense. Like that's just stupid. Like
Right.
the Diva's full, she has full all of her armor
Right.
and full defense matrix,
Okay.
and I'm wasting my ammo.
Okay.
So I guess it's kind of just like this is kind of like what I put down in the forum. Like it's just something that I've never really thought about.
Okay,
you know?
that's good. That's good. Because that means it's not just necessarily that you're brain dead autopiloting. It might be that you just haven't thought about it in that way before. So I am doing a little bit of teaching here too. Because I could sit here and slap you upside the head, and be like, "What are you doing? You should know better." And I think there's definitely been a few moments where that's the case, but I think there's also been some moments where like you just need to be. I needed to kind of educate you a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Now let me ask you about Bob. Is this something that you should know better, or is just something that you've not really put enough thought into?
I feel like with Bob, it's something I know better.
Okay, so you're just being an idiot. All right.
Yeah, this is definitely me just tossing out my bobs for no reason.
Okay. Dynamite.
Yeah, same thing. Like
going
I
Widow?
know. Yeah. It's just stuff that like
Okay.
that, especially this game in general. It kind of just feels like I kind of remember this game, but I felt like an autopilot game.
Yeah. So at least it's a mixture of things that you need to learn and also things that you already know that you're just being really silly about. And the real big problem with that with you is you, especially with your training schedule, you have no time to waste.
Right.
Okay. Killing me. I mean, I'm not gonna. We don't even need to talk about it, you know.
Yeah. No.
Now, I understand sometimes, I'm not saying always scope in versus a diva, because you'll be easier to die, but that you need to kind of use your judgment. She's not looking at you, put in a scope shot. She is looking at you, maybe it's better to just, you know, if you're going to at least shoot her, make sure you hit her in the head, unscoped, you know what I'm saying? Okay, let's keep going. We lose. Killing me. Still killing me. Now, this is really stupid. Because I love this position, but why does this work?
When you can't be pressured off it by somebody.
Right. And who is that somebody?
The Widow.
The Widow.
Or
now,
the Diva.
Well, right. Now, the Diva is fine. The Diva's used boosters. There was a window of opportunity for you to take this, but you totally forgot about Widow. It turned out Widow died as you're on the way up here. So this is going to work really, really nicely, but you needed to be really smart about this. Now, let's not, instead of just trashing you, as fun as that is, what would you do instead? Here, okay? So you're going to take the high ground, but let's say that Widow does not die. What do you do?
So that's a hard one. I think maybe I could just play the low ground and
where,
like maybe like kind of a little bit like under the bridge and try to pressure their backline.
Maybe
especially if I know the Widow's playing far right there by the Mega, I can kind of sit there and pressure their backline a little bit.
Avoid her. I mean, you did that in first point and second point, actually. Avoided her LOS and put out more damage in her core. And then you could always consider this here. Maybe there's a time, maybe if you got Bob or you want to go for an aggressive play. I mean, there's nothing wrong with dropping down here, going for a dynamite, maybe a headshot in the backline, and coach gunning back up. Is it aggressive? Yes. But there's at least logic behind it, right?
Right.
Maybe if
as long as I have the ability to back myself out.
Sure. Maybe if your Sigma's going in aggressive with a Flux or Kiriko, maybe that's an opportunity to take the high ground and take a pot shot at the Widow when she's on the back foot, you know? Obviously, this range isn't favorable for you, but it's not absurdly long range, right? So that maybe you could go across here. I don't know. Like you said, it's not easy. Having a Widow's, I like to say, CCTV, like cover this entire angle is really, really difficult to deal with. But you came up with some ideas. I came up with some ideas. There's ways of dealing with it, right? And the problem is obviously we're talking about Widow on Dorado specifically. But if you're not in tune to paying attention to stuff like this, like let's consider first point King's Row into a Genji on defense. You're attacking into a Genji on first point King's Row. How do you deal with that? How do you position with that as Ashe? And if you're not like really paying attention and thinking, then you're gonna have a hard time, right? That's how learning works. You have to actually put effort into what you're doing. And like right there, for example, you're just not thinking. And right here, for example, you're just not thinking.
Yeah, I'm thinking I have dynamite or I have shotgun, I'm going to shoot.
So she crashes. This is just, I can't, I have no words. You dynamited a Nano Diva at full HP.
Yeah.
So Widow crashes, Widow's back. Nice.
Oh, this was bad. I remember this one.
Ooh. I don't know. I think it's just
not necessarily bad on my part, but I remember dying to that and being very upset.
Yeah, I would be too. Was that a recall or was it a break?
It was a recall.
Oh. Yeah. What? Wait.
His I remember this. His reasoning was he was trying to save himself after he messed up his ult.
That's probably one of the worst things I've ever seen in a VOD review. He actually ults, kills you, and then also kills himself.
Yeah.
That's a new low. That's okay. Slightly worse than dynamiting a Nano Diva at full HP.
Slightly.
You've got
yeah.
competition. That Diva is like, she doesn't even need to eat your dynamite. She's eating them anyways. Ah!
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it ends up actually being in a pretty good spot because it he just jumps onto the payload, but oh my goodness, it's just agony. And here's another thing too. When you're coming out of spawn here, why on earth are you here? You are 93% on Bob. And you do not need to touch. Get here. Go on the flank. Set up the Bob. When you are close to Bob, that's everything, right? Imagine if you'd rolled out here. I mean, obviously the Ana just happens to be here. So let's say the Ana's not even here, right? Let's say the Ana's like here, more realistic, right? You go here, you take a pot shot at her, maybe you force her out, maybe you throw a dynamite, whatever. And then you just throw Bob right here. Game over, fight's won.
Right.
It's just horrendous.
It's just back to the not thinking thing.
Right,
like
exactly.
Even though I knew he had a ball, I wasn't.
Yeah. Okay. So, how much time do we have here? We got a little bit more time. What are you seeing with your Ashe?
Kind of just like knowing that I have to pressure, but not doing it effectively.
Correct.
Like pressuring the wrong things.
Correct. Not
like
putting
dynamiting
any
full
thought
HP.
into your dynamites, into your bobs, into how you do pressure, or even your positioning in general. I think putting more thought into that and what's the best output of pressure will be absolutely crucial for you moving forward. And similarly enough, you're on another relatively difficult hero to do this with as well. So let me ask you a question. You're on Tracer. Obviously, timing is incredibly important. You've had your timing spoon-fed you in Ashe. You just had to kind of stand there and stuff happened at the same time. Tracer, you're mobile. You have a lot of options of when and who you can go on. So obviously, you need to pay attention to your team, number one. But number two, if you look at the enemy comp, let's just look objectively as what they're doing literally right now. Where are your pressure opportunities? Oh my gosh. Suido.
Probably the Ana, I'd say. Or maybe their mantra.
Yeah. You could take you could pressure the Ana, you could pressure the Mercy. You could, if you scout the Widow, yes. If you heard the Ana back, and then you could take the opportunity to pressure the mantra, right? Okay, let's watch what we do. Nice. Get rolled! She misses the sleep dart on the Bob, but she gets you. The funny thing is, though, is you see it right here. Obviously, getting slept here, you're a little fortunate you survive, but it's still good pressure, right? Like, look at the supports right now. Poor Ramatra's screwed.
Right.
It's over. And you still get the kill. I actually want to look at that sleep dart. It didn't look like she heard you, and she must have heard you. Yeah, she heard you. Okay, just keep in mind, yeah. Sayonara, trash can. All right. Like it? Okay. What's the problem?
I'm 2v1ing.
Worse than that. Potentially 3v1ing.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, it could be 4v1ing.
Right.
This doesn't matter. This pressure is meaningless. Your team capitalizes off of this, not at all. And the risks of death are significantly higher because the enemy team is not distracted. And also this Mercy's spine is slowly arching. Are you seeing this as the creepiest thing I've ever seen in the replay here? Is that just from your POV? Or is it... Wait, now it's going back. I'm sorry, this is terrifying. Look at this.
Just rocking back and forth.
Oh my gosh,
slowly.
I will not be sleeping. Okay, yeah, this is just meaningless. Like, again, your mechanics here, like, I look at this and I'm like, dinkity dinkity dink. I'm like, oh yes, but also like, what? Why? Why would you do this? Why would you do this? No. Wait for them to touch and then get easy access to the Mercy or easy access to the Kiriko, or at least put pressure on the Reaper from there. This is just extraordinarily fortunate. No. Like, we have to be objective about this. We can't be like, okay, it ended up working out. You got the Reaper Wraith out. There's so many things that could have happened there poorly. This is good. And this actually makes sense, too, because what is that Kiriko supposed to do right now?
Touch. and help stall.
What's she supposed to do? Widow dies, or like it's impossible decision for her to make. And same thing here. Like, obviously Kiriko is a little bit scary for you, but she really doesn't want to be dueling you. You know, she really doesn't. And then even though she gets out, look at how she gets out, right? Less than half HP, and she's also punishable because you force her TP. So catastrophically bad, and then good.
Right.
But let's fix the bad. Okay, so we cap. Just doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. I know what you're going to do here. You're going to go for a pulse, I assume. But it just doesn't matter. Oh, no. You got bullied out. But it's matter. What did you trade your recall for there?
Nothing.
Nothing. And instead, there's a ridiculously high chance that you get Kiriko headshot, micro-missiled, or helixed, correct?
Right.
Why? This is like I have to be hitting things, and so I'm just going to just keep the dopamine rush flowing. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like right now, where should you be? Who should you be going for? Why are you here?
Yeah, I'm just doing nothing.
Now let me ask you a question. Is shooting D.Va here always bad?
Not always.
No. It might be here that you can abuse the fact that their Widow has to play safe, and you guys try and avoid the Widow silence and take a 5v4 in cart, right? Maybe you pressure the D.Va, keep shooting D.Va, maybe you flank around this way, like, I don't know. But are you coming to that decision because that's what you thought about and decided to, or just because it's just what's in front of your face?
No, it's definitely just because, oh, D.Va in my face.
Your other
Easy hitbox.
Your other opportunity here, we talked about it, is like this here, right? This is a free engage. This is probably the better engage if you actually took the time to set it up instead of just couldn't stop shooting people. But you know, I don't want to trash on your decisions here. It's the fact that there's just no decision that is the problem.
Yeah.
I mean, timing there was fine. I think positioning from front line is not great, you know, but I think that was fine. Suzu for pulse is not fun, but it's an okay trade. At least there was something timed there. Like we're low hanging fruit right now, right? Like if I'm coaching a GM tracer, I'm punching a hole through the drywall right now, but we're not even to that point to where we should be considering Suzu right now.
Right.
We're just not playing the game. I would be very cautious doing that unless you were like actually pushing with your team on that target. That hero can just mash mouse 1 in your general direction in the Kiriko ultimate and do a lot of damage. Yeah. So, no. Now, just for fun, do you want to guess as to how your team lost this fight?
Just fighting the Kiriko ult.
I might be wrong here, but I have a suspicion. I might be wrong. Let's find out. Uh-oh. Up one. So your Hanzo feeds. That sucks. Oh, maybe not. He's okay. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Right. Now, could you have stopped her from hitting all those shots? Yes. Yes, you could have. Yes, you could have. And not only that, let's look at where this Mercy and Kiriko attention was on this entire fight. Ooh. Oh. You see this?
Right.
There's either an opportunity to force this Mercy to do what she doesn't want to do, or there's an opportunity to kill off that isolated target. You know? Okay. We don't have to overthink this one too much. Your impact was minimal. Your positioning, your thought processes were not good.
Right.
But, okay. I think, obviously, like, they obviously significantly out-ulted you guys, so it's not the end of the world that you guys lost that fight. But, your impact could have been more significant. Okay. Looks like maybe... Oh! Unfortunate.
Yeah.
You know what?
I remember that.
I don't care. You were thinking, yeah? You were trying.
Right.
Don't care. You're thinking... Wait, we're thinking, I think. Yeah, we're thinking. Yay! Yes! We're thinking. We're checking soldier positioning and thinking about diving him and then going, oh no, he's too far, and oh, maybe I'll position here. Okay, where's that Widow? She might pick me here. Okay, oh, there she is. I'm gonna go off. Yes! We're thinking.
Right.
Brilliant! I love it. Unfortunate. Then we immediately go back. We're on the back line. Yes! 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 Now we're concerned about Widow. Now, so we set up in the flank. Look at you! Look at how much of a better Tracer player you are right now. And you're like, oh no, she grappled out. I'm gonna flank underneath. Just so, it's night and day. And the funny thing about this is if you look at this, the last like 30, 45, 60 seconds, it's been really not flashy at all, you know? You haven't really done anything like, oh, whoa, what a crazy kill. It just felt like you were just awake. And all of a sudden, obviously, it's a little bit disingenuous of me because obviously your team did have more ults than the enemy team did. But, you know, your pressure was tangible. You could feel it. You're going for pulse, I can tell. You're thinking about it. You're thinking about it. The problem with pulse bomb is it makes you dumb. It makes you dumb.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like right now, oh, bless me. You know what I'm saying? That you would never even consider shooting a single clip into this corner at that range in front of the entire enemy team. Be careful, please.
Right.
Brain on. Brain on. There's the ping. Good. I love it. All right. We're patient. We're patient. Now, we should be patient here, but we should be patient what? You know?
Patiently positioning.
Patiently positioning. Exactly. Exactly. Setting up for that next engage. Even if you don't get the kill here, she should not be allowed to stay up here. Okay, right. So now we should be going in on the top high ground, right? Because I think we got a decent trade going in. You see this? The fight happening. Where are you? On the front line. Okay. Yeah. If you're going to be front line here, which I don't like, but okay, where should you be right now?
Definitely not in open space.
Right. So where should you be?
Either closer to the left on the corner, or maybe like in the stairwell or something.
This seems reasonable. It's not great, but it's at least if you're going to do something stupid like this, do it correctly, right? Because there's again, we're talking about Tracer. Tracer does have flexibility with playstyle, and sometimes, as we saw on second, maybe you don't have time to go high ground, so you need to play low ground and play low ground properly. You are not playing low ground properly. Nice stick, but you know, Suzu.
Yeah, Suzu, thanks.
I mean, again, here, I know you're thirsty for baby. That just sounds really weird. But this, your just brain's off, you know? The brain's off. Again, that blink there, brain's off. You're dead. Yep. Okay. How much time we got? Let me check here. We got time. Yeah, we got time. We actually might be able to finish this map. What do you think?
Useless pressure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not forcing anybody off their position.
So where and who?
It could either be on the Widow. I'd say the Widow's probably the best bet right now.
Yeah, yeah. From around right. Or if you're like, I don't have time to go top right. What if you were inside here? You know?
Right.
And then you blinked up here, or you literally triple or double blinked all the way to here, and then just you're a general nuisance on the soldier. That's not probably the safest thing, but it has to be better than what you're doing right now. Has to.
Right, because then there's some form of meaningful pressure.
Everything that you do is just like straightforward.
Right.
The one time that you actually played Tracer correctly, you got rewarded for it, and then now we're just back to just generally shooting frontline. And oh my goodness, it's like an aim check on the enemy DPS. You know, soldier, Widow, are you gonna hit your shots? If so, I'm dead. If not, I might kill you. I think this is just in general like a misapplication of target priority. I appreciate you going for Mercy, but you can kind of see it's just kind of like a lost cause here. I'd rather you kind of herd their soldier, herd their Widow maker a little bit. That's a bit of a misplay, but whatever. Okay. Brain on. Will we have our brain on? Will we have our brain on? We know where Widow is now. We're setting up. Okay. Okay. Timing is going to be really important here. Okay, they have sights. So we don't want to directly contest the Widowmaker. So we're playing it safe. Okay. Widow drops. We immediately pounce. Now she beefed there, but at least felt like her brain was on a little bit more there, right? We started to go top, she pops side, so we drop, we play it safer. Seemed reasonable. Okay. Soldier's inaccessible, so we turn our attention to D.Va. Soldier may be accessible if we blink there. I honestly don't know. Okay. Ha. Again, tangible pressure, right? You're doing it horribly, but at least there's tangible pressure.
Right.
I don't know. I appreciate the effort here. Look, we got one more fight. Let's make this count.
Oh, it doesn't count, but
Of course it
we'll
counts.
try.
I'm sure it's gonna be perfect. The Genji swap is, I think, probably a good one. This is fine. D.Va's isolated. Out of position, remember? The first thing we talked about with the Reaper, remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh.
Yeah, I messed that up bad.
That's okay. Get her. Get her. Get her. And remember, indirect pressure here, too, right? Like, you're here, she's spooked. Now, don't forget about her, though. This Kiriko, this is just meaningless damage, right? Meaningless. Oh. I knew it! I knew it! The meaningless damage is what turns your attention away from what you should actually be thinking about, right? Because this guy is pressurable right here, right? Killable? No. But pressurable? Yes. Or at least you could adjust and then reposition. And like you've done your job. Like, okay, think about the enemy's positioning. Like, this Widow wants to be here. You go in, Widow has to reposition into a more aggressive position. You could punish this or you can continue to hurt her. That's what your job as Tracer is, to control space, controlling us. So, we've talked about a lot of different things with Tracer. What is standing out to you that you need to practice with this hero?
Positioning pre-fights, that way I can like actually go on the right targets instead of just spamming front line for no reason.
Yes, I think so as well. Like, you're obviously playing a very hectic and difficult hero mid-fight, but you would make things so much easier for yourself if you put a little bit of thought pre-fight so that there's a little bit less chaos, right? Like, you're putting yourself in situations where it almost feels impossible to track where the enemies are and what you should be doing. It feels like you could die at any point in time. You know what I'm saying? Whereas I think you could be streamlining and simplifying it a little bit better by thinking ahead of time, like you said. Okay, anything else, or is that mostly it?
No, I mean, that's pretty much, I got what I wanted on that.
Yeah, I think so too. I think your Tracer mistakes were relatively uncomplicated. Now, we could break it down further into the micro, but I don't think that's going to be a big issue. Now, my only concern with only giving you one thing for Tracer is that's going to be absurdly boring to practice after like the first week. So what you might need to do is you might need to revisit this and kind of look back more carefully at your cooldown usage, more carefully at how you're positioning with your cover, maybe your pulse bombs, see if you can come up with something else that you need to practice as well. Because while we agree that this was the biggest issue with your Tracer, it's going to be dull to practice after like a week. Whereas your Ashe, we came up with a handful of different things. You, Tracer, mostly just the one for now, but that can obviously change. So overall with Ashe, we have things that we want to work on with that, considering the, like, turning your brain on with your dynamite, with your bobs, adjusting your positioning accordingly. And then with Tracer, obviously pre-fight, preparing yourself, preparing your positioning, thinking about the matchup, thinking about where you need to be. Do you have any questions?
I feel like I had a question.
Sure. Take your time.
So I guess one thing is like, how do I like effectively, especially on, because Tracer's not, she's not incredible right now. She's definitely not bad, but like, should I just, if I don't, because I don't have a lot of time to practice, would it be more valuable to put all of my time into Tracer and Ashe instead of trying to like you said, like swap it up from map to map?
Yes.
So just like
I think so.
throw all my time on Tracer.
And Tracer and Ashe, I think. I don't think 2 heroes is too much, even for an hour and a half, 2 hours average. I think it's okay. What I would say is you could definitely put a pause in Echo or Sojourn.
Okay.
And then if you want to change that, that's fine. But I think that would be a more efficient use of your time. And I think you'd actually be able to get better reps.
Right.
Yeah, I would definitely recommend that. And I think Ashe and Tracer, again, they have the dynamics that we talked about, right? Where Ashe is flexible enough for a lot of situations. In situations where she feels truly impossible, you'll always have that Tracer pick, and vice versa. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Not many situations that I can think of where both of them would feel trash. And also, you're Plat, okay? Sadly, you shouldn't be Plat with the mechanics that you have. You should be low diamond with the mechanics that you have. But you're Plat for right now. And meta picks aren't going to actually seriously matter until, I would say, High Masters.
Okay.
Any other questions?
No, I think that's it.
Okay. Good review. Good play. I think that you have massive potential. You're a very intelligent person, and you're also mechanically strong. It's just going to be about utilizing those tools and directing them in the proper way. If you do have any other questions, message me anytime. Are you familiar with the replay code rule for feedback?
I don't think so.
Okay, so anytime in the next week or whenever, month from now, 2 months from now, whatever, shoot me a replay code with a couple of timestamps. Could be Tracer Ashe, or it could be Ashe Sojourn. I mean, your call in the hero pool here. Maybe that adjusts. And be like, hey, what should I have done here, here, here? Give me 3 or 4 timestamps through that replay code. And be like, what was this good? Was this bad? What do you recommend for this kind of a situation? And I will give you some feedback. Sound good?
Yeah, absolutely.
Might be a day or two, but I will get back to you. Okay, mate.
Yeah, no worries.
Keep in touch. Let me know if you have any questions, and good luck with your practice.
Absolutely.
All right, cheers. Have a good one.
Thanks a bunch.
You're very welcome. See ya. All right, that was Pick Joe. That was the hit scan, I guess, extraordinary. Hope you guys found that one educational. And again, you guys can kind of see that even in the quote-unquote mid-ranks, that something as simple as just directing your attention can be so incredibly useful. It's so useful. I think like if you guys learn nothing else from my stream, but that so much of learning is just putting your effort in the right places, then we've won. Do you know what I'm saying? Like we talk about like, okay, this guy's not an Overwatch League coach, but he knew what he was talking about. He's a smart player with good mechanics. And yet he's Plat. It's the effort and the intention. If you're wasting those skills, then it's not going to matter, right? What do you think about using Dynamite off cooldown? No, I do not agree with that. I think IOStechs put out a really great guide. I'm actually going to link it here. I haven't watched his Ashe guide just yet, so I'm not going to comment on his Ashe guide. But I think this video in particular was excellent. And I'm going to link it in Twitch chat because this is a video that details how cooldowns are dependent. There are cooldowns that you should spam because they generally are just high value and are just consistent value, and there's cooldowns that you should save for specific instances, and there's cooldowns that it depends. Sometimes you can spam them, you can be a little bit more free with them, but sometimes you need to save them. I think Dynamite falls in that last category where you don't need to save Dynamite for specific instances almost ever, but you also should not be using it just off of cooldown because there's almost always guaranteed value in Dynamite just one step away. So we want to, with Dynamite, it's more about avoiding the worst case scenario. And then besides that, Dynamites are generally pretty much free, right? Like Dynamite, a squishy is fine. It doesn't always even matter what squishy it is as long as that squishy is actually trying to take space or do something. Dynamite get a full HP diva is not great, right? Not when there's other targets that will be immediately or are already available. Okay, chat. As I wipe the spittle from my mouth. Are you guys ready? It is time for Overwatch highlights. So, !Discord. Get in here, boys and girls. We're going to be taking a look at the worst and best that you've got for me in my Discord Overwatch highlights channel. Now, I will say, last week, I think in general, we had a much better general set of highlights. I think the highlights in general were pretty decent. So we will find out if today that continues. Let's open up our thing. I think we got everything we got going here. Okay, let's take a look, chat. Let's take a look. I need to get my whiteboard here. So, whiteboard. For those of you who are not familiar, we'll give you a super fast rundown. We have 3 categories: mechanics, pizzazz, and smarts. So how intelligent was the highlight? Now, when I say highlight, it could be a low light, a highlight. It could be something stupid. It could be something funny. It could be something Chad. It could be something really beta. It could be a 5K. It could be a 1K. It could be you killed nobody, but you just pinned off the map and you thought it was funny. We'll take a look at it, and we are going to go ahead and get started. Let me actually make sure that we're good to go. Okay, let's take a look here. So, stupid phone keeps turning off here. We're gonna start off with with Geo here. Why not? Open and browse. Geo's a consistent contributor to our Overwatch highlights fun. Let's get started here. Geo, what do you got for me?
Group up with me.
My ultimate is
I knew I could count.
Pretty good.
Thanks for the assist.
Pretty good. pretty good. I think the only thing that's holding it back from me
Group up with me.
is the fact that it wasn't a direct. Now, I also have some internal bias in here. I get bored watching Farah clips because you know what it's going to be before it even starts. So, a Farah clip from Geo, I'm shocked. Yeah. Well, it is a good shot. The E there was really good too. So, let's take a look here. Mechanics, okay. We'll give it a 2.5. It was fine, but I don't think it was an actual direct. Not the greatest. Now, Pizzazz, pretty fancy. We'll give it a 2.5. And Smarts will give it a 2.5 as well because I really liked the concussive blast. That was definitely a good use of it to get him off the Pygon. I think you just got fortunate that he ended up going the direction that he did. So we'll give this a 2.5, 2.5, 2.5. Not technically middle on the road, slightly better than middle of the road, but not exactly astonishing. Now, for those of you guys that don't know, generally, when it comes to grading things, 7 is what we'd call a good clip. That was the 7.5. So that was a good clip. And 9 is a great clip. Okay? And we haven't really had, I think we've had a 10 clip before once. But yeah, decent clip. Decent clip. All right, Joe. Let's go! Oh no, it's Metal TV. Ah! Okay. Wait a second. I swear. Wait, is this... I know who this is. I know that you've submitted clips before. Oh, gosh. All right, what do we got?
Okay, I think it's also my play of the game. Look at this ult. It's kind of laggy, but I feel like you could... There's very few times we can, like, frag bomb. I was like, I had to ult because look at the fucking Sojourn Nano. It's just, like, death if you don't, right? Like... But I feel like you could... There's very few times we can, like, frag bomb. I was like, I had to ult because look at the fucking Sojourn Nano. It's just, like, death if you don't, right? Like... Nice. I'm literally... Very few times we can, like, frag
I don't
bomb.
know. I mean, we could have just sat and matrixed her, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're
I was like, I
literally
had
on
to ult
top,
because
you're
look
literally on top of her.
at the fucking Sojourn Nano. It's just, like, death.
I don't know. I think that was lucky. I'll give that one some pizzazz points, though.
If you don't, right? Like... Nice.
What are we gonna say here?
I'm literally, like, sweating so hard.
Why didn't you jump the people up, like, upstairs?
Yes!
Hey,
Yes!
let's go.
Yes!
Well, chat, just goes to show that nearly anybody can get Grandmaster. Mechanics, well, it could not be lower. I think your mechanics legitimately look like Granny McFarlane, who's never touched anything more complicated than typewriter. Okay? So 1.5 with mechanics. We'll give it a 2.5 with pizzazz. Smarts, I mean, it was a bomb into a shatter, but the fight was either lost or you needed your matrix on. I actually don't think it was that smart of a clip. No, not particularly good. No, that's a 5.5. I have given out many lower scores, but not many. No. Nice try, but no. Congrats on Grandmaster, but no. Sneaky, outskilled. Oh bless. Is this? Gee, guys. Gee, I wonder what will happen next. We need to bring this one back. You guys remember this one? Wait for it. Whoops. Hang on. No, that's not what I wanted. We needed to bring this one back. Here we go. Yeah. No, just no. Mechanics, well, irrelevant. Pizzazz, predictable. Smarts, I mean, no. No. Like, the worst part about this, if you guys actually look really carefully at this, it's even less impressive than you think it is. Because there's actually no prediction at this whatsoever. Look. Because, look, you're about to win. 34.1%. I think this is the game right here. I think? I don't know. No, never mind. But I don't think it's just not that impressive. I use Epic Ben. Yeah. Lame. I'm keeping this up because we're going to be using it later. I just know we will. Lame. That's not even a very flashy remake kill. Rat Gap. All right, well, Azathoth? That sounds like some fan-made goblin name from the Lord of the Rings franchise. Azathoth. And the base contender skin, though. Junkrat. Oh, gosh. I'm on the edge of my seat. Oh, nice direct. Nice. I can think of few things in life more painful than dying to Biggie Cheese on anything, much less Junkrat. I legitimately think I would prefer to take a sledgehammer to each one of my toes individually than for me to ever end up in the kill feed as a victim of Biggie Cheese. I think I would rather take a pair of pliers and dig them deeply into my big toe than ever die to Biggie Cheese. I would rather traverse the Grand Canyon naked with a bag of fire ants strapped over my head than have to die to Biggie Cheese. I think I would rather watch the entire show Friends than watch Biggie Cheese. I would rather listen to Taylor Swift's discography at least twice than die to Biggie Cheese. No, this is horrible. Absolutely horrible. I'm not gonna even grade it. It's not happening. No. Shame on you. Consider uninstalling Swift's discography ain't even that bad, bro. Found the zoomer. Okay, let's take a look at here. Your discography is worse. Objectively wrong, but okay. Nice. Pen. Nice. Pen. Oh! Okay, that was pretty good. I love the catch. I love the catch effect with the it just makes me so angry inside that you cannot play this in a custom game. Chat, imagine how much fun it would be with you guys all coming to a custom game with me and me beating the ever-living crap out of you. But we can't do it because it's solo only. I get it for when the event was live, but surely now that the event is gone, that they're going to open this up to the public. Right, chat? Mechanics, there's just nothing to say here. Pizzazz will give it a decent amount of pizzazz, and it was a little bit accidental that you hit the Lucio, so it's okay. 6.5, not a bad clip. Not a bad clip. Not a bad clip. Spilo 1v7? I mean, at least. I think it could do, in custom games, it could have like 12 people in there, right? Blizzard doesn't operate in the best interest of the player base. Too soon. Okay, another bigger cheese. Biggie Cheese clip. Okay. I can't wait. Nutbreaker? Oh, that said Nutbreaker. I don't know. Why did I think it said Nutbreaker? Okay, well, we're going to move swiftly on. Hydrate, thank you. All right, Biggie Cheese. Randomly hits a Lucio. I'm sorry, this crosshair, this crosshair is not only, this crosshair is offensive. What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? What is this clip? You don't even, oh my gosh. Dang it, man. Sucks. I don't like. There's just nothing even to say there. Oh gosh. Okay, we capped. Have you considered matrixing out and grabbing health? Okay. Okay. All right. So I don't know who's stupider here. You. Like. Here's the thing. You're like, I need healing! I need healing! But do you know why your Moira's not healing you? It's because she's 80-80 strafing so that she can get her Wraith back so that she can get out of the dodge. If she turns around to heal you, she will die. There's a Widowmaker. Meanwhile, your stupid, worthless piece of garbage diva is not utilizing your Matrix to just simply go to cover and get health back, or just to disengage entirely. Instead, you're gonna sit here. Okay, I get it. I get it. Wait, what do you even die to? Oh, the Widow. You're so stupid. I'm like, you're just so stupid. Why are you, like it's just like cutting off your nose to spite your face. Shame on you. I'm not even grading you. Get lost. Oh, I don't want that stupid. Get out of here. Can't tell who's more brain dead. Wait, this is sneaky? Wait. It all makes sense. The remake moron. Well, welcome back. Darkfire, what do you got? Oopsies 1v6.
Je vais me tenter un pin critique.
Over-
T'es prêt?
Overwatch
3, 2, 1,
1.
maintenant bouge. Et qu'est-ce que tenter un pin critique. T'es prêt? 3, 2, 1, maintenant bouge. Et qu'est-ce que
Mais what the fuck? Ok, d'accord.
T'es prêt? 3, 2, 1, maintenant bouge. Et qu'est-ce que
Mais what the fuck?
Je vais me tenter un pin critique. T'es prêt? 3, 2, 1, maintenant bouge. Et qu'est-ce que
Okay, so here's where we check this at. Here's where we check it, okay? So mechanics here, nothing particularly crucial, but you did hit the fire strike in the pen, so we'll give you a 2.5. Pizzazz will definitely give you a 3. That was a sick play. Nice pen. We'll give that a 2.5. So this is where it really pains me because we have 8, but unfortunately,
Je vais me tenter un pin critique. T'es prêt?
unfortunately
3, 2,
we
1,
have to
maintenant
we have to consider the French tax. So unfortunately, we're going to have to go -1, 1.5 for the French tax, -1. This is going to be 2, okay, and then -1. Oh, would you look at that? We just no longer a good clip. Now isn't that just a shame? It just sucks, man. Nothing you can do, I guess. Well, that's all right. Try being born elsewhere. That's what I would recommend. Okay, can I just have a moment of honesty? It's like that Parks and Rec meme with Chris Pratt, and he's like, I don't know why we make fun of French people, and at this point I'm too afraid to ask. I've heard that French people tend to be kind of like arrogant. I've heard a lot of bad things about like the attitude, but also like, isn't that like kind of like, I'm not being like, I just okay. It's funny. Okay. I love that the entire world is like against xenophobia and racism and things like that, you know. But then we all of us make the exception for the French. And at this point, I don't even think we fully remember why. Chauvinistic people? Okay. Fair enough. Okay. Oh, what about the British? Yeah, exactly. We all make fun of the British and the French. I don't know. Sometimes I have a hard time tracking what's acceptable to make fun of and what's not anymore. Tread lightly. Brig play of the game on Eichenwald, but unironically, good clip. Brig play of the game on Eichenwald. It's not Piggy Cheese, so I'll watch it. Loud. pretty good. That was pretty good. Oh, it's Arietta. Hey, look. I'm glad I didn't say anything rude. I would have caught hands. Nice. Yeah, this is pretty good. Oh, this is good. It's better than Biggie Cheese's crap where the guy just hits mouse 1 the entire time like an idiot. Mechanics here, I'll give that a 2.5. You hit two pretty nice whip shots. The pizzazz there, I'll give that a 2.5 as well. We'll give it a smarts 2.5. Good clip. Good clip. It's a good clip. Respectable. Have I ever tried doing IT support in French? Do I look like I've ever done IT support in French? You're making 2 assumptions about me. Yeah, okay. Good clip. We keep going. Somehow I didn't even see those area. Vigaboid? Right. Arista clip. Oh, only real ones would remember. Halt and to pulse. That's pretty good. Well, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Everyone's cashing in on the nostalgia. I miss Halt. I'm not gonna lie. Halt was a fun ability. It was kind of broken though, but it was a lot of fun. It was like one of those broken abilities that's actually really fun to use. Mechanics here, 2.5. Pizzazz, definitely 2.5. Smarts, 2.5. Like, we've had a lot of middle of the road clips today, chat. You know what I'm saying? That's all right. That's a good clip. That's a good clip. It's cute. It's definitely cute. I'll definitely send it to my mom. Like, Mom, look what I did. It's all right. Doing IT, you would hate to see it. Have you tried? Turn it on. Turn it back off and on again. Idiot. I wouldn't last too long. How to get rank 1 open queue in 1 simple step. So first off, respectfully, open queue. Oh gosh. Open queue. Guys, listen. Open queue. I mean, it was all right. You only got 2 though. My best, like three or more is my best offer. It's pretty funny. It's pretty funny. I respect that. I respect it. I respect it. It's not the best clip. We'll say mechanics here is like a 2. There's nothing like impressive mechanically about it. Where I might actually subtract points because the mechanics aren't looking super smooth. We'll give it a 1.5 in mechanics, but we will give it a 3 for pizzazz. Smart. You almost had a good clip. It's not bad. But it's not amazing. The guy is actually rank 1 open queue in EU? No way. He spends more time shooting at the floor than he does the enemy team. So, open queue moment. Mag modem. Replay final. And we have another rat clip. Great. Well, you're oh, what a great start. In slow motion, watch me whiff. I'm like, we're cashing major pizzazz points right now. Come on, give me something. Random spam. Did we hit the soldier? We do. Okay. What? What? I'm being trolled. I can't believe that I sat here for like 3 minutes. I can't believe I'm about to watch it again. This guy is horrible, this Genji. I love the replay viewer bug. Glad everybody has to deal with it. Oh, it's so offensive to the ears. It gets progressively worse. The ear assault. All right. Well. Okay. Mechanics. I guess if we include movement as a mechanic here, we'll give it 2.5. Pizzazz. Yeah, it's got some pizzazz. It's a pretty good clip. It's a pretty good clip. I think it's more on the Genji goofing it up, but we'll give it a 7.5. We have not had. This has been the most middle of the road. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Some of these names are beyond sus. I'm saying here, beyond sus. Not gonna lie. Okay. Yeah, that was pretty funny. Okay, let's we should probably remove some of these here because we're getting a little bloated here. You know what I'm saying? We'll keep up our NPC friend just in case. You never know. You can't be too careful. Blindfold Overwatch thing. Bad mic quality. Okay, I'm prepared.
Oh, by the way, you have Shatter. Now turn right a little bit. To right again. Now just there's a Winton right in front of you. Actually, they're trying to take Shatter. You got two.
No way! No way this actually happens. First off, this not even telling you to look up. For crying out loud. This guy's looking at the floor.
There's a Winton right in front of you. Actually,
look up! Look up! Like, how do you even see what's going on? Like, for even directing.
Now just there's a Winton right in front of you. Actually,
also, I'm so close to subtracting points. If I hear the word Winton again, I'm gonna lose it. I'm going to lose it. It's the stupidest joke. It's the stupidest joke. No cap is annoying, right? Well, you know, flossing is annoying. Dabbing is annoying, right? It's like whenever the 9 and 10 and 11-year-olds pick it up, it's been milked out. You know what I'm saying? But to me, Winton was never funny. It's always been dumb, and now we still are saying it. It's just not funny. Since when is talking like a baby funny? It's stupid. Shut up.
Right again. Now just there's a Winton right in front of you.
Shut up. Shut up!
Actually, they're trying to take Shatter.
That's you talking there? Hey, Spoons OW! Shut up!
You got two!
Literally carrying.
Oh, you killed two with just the headshot Shatter.
Oh, fuck. Are we
I get
losing
you
or
up a
winning?
spawn and on molten core. You have 16 meters. They have 134.
Oh.
Thank you.
You guys still point though. Oh, you got a turret kill!
Oh!
Go right. Left. Right. A little bit.
Okay, thank you for that. Okay, so for the Reinhardt specifically, mechanics, we'll give it a 2. Pizzazz, I'm gonna give it a 4. Smart, we'll give it a 3.5, just because why not? We'll give it a 3. I mean, we're breaking the bank with Pizzazz here. It's a great clip. That's a great clip. That's the best one we've seen today. Nice job. Get a 9. You've officially broken the great clip barrier for the first time today. And maybe the last time. I have a feeling it's going to be the last time. We only have a couple more replays here. Another set of remakes. Oh, please. Ah! That one was okay. At least that one was like a little bit smarter, and you did get 2. Alright. That one was just pure luck. So you get nothing for that one. Let's see what this one's like. We have an aggregate. Oh, yes. That one was delightful. That one was also when the hitbox is broken, you can tell. Why? Because the person's on the other side of the wall and still dies to it. But funny. Oh, okay, well. That one was just whatever. Activate Windows. Ha ha. Ha ha ha. Ha ha. Hacker spotted! Remake, whatever. Okay. Well, some of these were a little bit better than the other one, but nothing really spectacular here, to be honest with you. It was entertaining. I'm glad we watched it, but no, I'm not gonna even give you a good clip score. It was okay. I won't. You know what? Here's where you're gonna dodge the bullet, though. This is how you know I'm a merciful coach. We're not gonna pull up the NPC thing. You're lucky. It could have been a lot worse. All right, one more. Wait, gaming while blindfolded is the most mechanically difficult thing I ever saw. But it's just RNG. Okay, get out of here. Get out of here. I'm not gonna even bother. Like again, I've been baited twice today. All right, CD Mac, what do you got? Overwatch 1, Widowmaker, console, questionable, in pure insanity, beyond questionable. No way. Ooh, okay. You're brain dead. However, nice clip. Mechanics here, we give it a 3. Pizzazz, I think we give it a 3. Smarts, I have not seen very many clips that have looked stupider than growling directly into a right heart. 2 is neutral, but it's still a good clip though. You still broke the barrier. You got 7.5. Okay. Console's disqualified. Your mama's disqualified. Okay, for those people that weren't there when Overwatch 2 was still very young, this absolute classic clip is a must-see. Thank you, Varashi. Thank you. All right, so I assume. Oh, this is not even Varashi's clip, but we'll still grade it. There's not even a kill feed on the. Overwatch 1. Whoa, there's a rate the match? Bro, I didn't know that was such a thing. Rate players? Holy smacks. Smacks, I say. Smokes. Mackerel. Smacks. Okay. Well, we gotta do it. Obviously, mechanics here were literally completely irrelevant. So 1. Pizzazz 4. Smarts 1. Or I guess irrelevant with smarts. So we'll say 2. But yeah, it's a good clip. It's great. Classic Overwatch 1 moment. This was beta? Ah! That will explain it. That would explain it. That's hilarious. Chat, here's the deal. Let me check something really fast. I think we devolved. I'm not gonna lie, chat. I'm not gonna lie to you. I really think we devolved this week. We had some bad clips, but not really bad clips. We had one good clip, but nothing really great. Just the one great clip, I guess. It wasn't a real strong point for us, to be honest with you. It wasn't great. The clip was uploaded in like 2016. Yeah, it was a dark day. That's okay. You could do it for next time. we can do it for next time. But yeah, generally, guys, we'll do the roast my highlights probably about once or twice a week, and I will go back in time. So if you post it and not the day where I'm streaming it, don't worry, I'll probably go back and do it. Like I went back like 3 or 4 days with the clips from today. So generally, that's going to be the modus operandi. So yeah, let's do Ask Spilo, but I'm gonna have to do it juice and quick. So exclamation mark Discord, just like the Overwatch highlights foolishness, but we're gonna do some Ask Spilo here really fast here. Okay, let's get right into it then. No wasting time. Yeah. Ask Spilo. Yeah, shut your mouth. Okay. Am I planning to go for Team USA Overwatch World Cup? Not planning on it, no. How do they even do coaches in Overwatch World Cup? Do they reach out? It wasn't like a popularity contest back in the day where they'd have like a certain candidates and you could just vote for them. I honestly cannot remember how they did it in years past. But there's no way that I would win a popularity contest for some of the other NA coaches. And also, I'm not even sure that I'd be interested or have the time to be able to do that. So no. Hello, Tabata. I'd vote for you, Spilo. See, that's great, but. I don't think that's going to be enough. Perhaps you could bribe off everybody else. You have the platform, kind of. I mean, versus Jake OW? No way. Or even like a Kasaurus has probably more name attraction for coaching. You could have a decent chance. Yeah, but again, how? When? Where? And again, I don't know if I have the time either. How do I effectively counter Sojourn as Genji? Get close to her without getting shot. Try and force her shift. And if you force her shift into a less aggressive position, you've kind of already done your job. You generally don't want to force a dive on Sojourn all the time unless you have team follow-up, because she's really, really good at dueling you, even after shift, so be careful. Her 80-80, she never has the scope. Her 80-80 strafing patterns are difficult. Railgun's hard. Also one is pretty good versus you, and her E is great versus you. So effectively countering Sojourn as Genji is just essentially trying to gatekeep her from two super aggressive positions where she can destroy your backline. So like if Sojourn's playing here, your job as Genji is to make sure that she's not playing here, that she's playing here. You can't necessarily kill her every time, but you can at least prevent her from playing very aggressive positions. What is Automod doing? Hypothetically, if I were to make an Overwatch coaching guide, what would be the key things to include? Oh, bless my heart. Okay, I guess if we're talking about it from just a coaching gameplay side of things and not into a leadership side of things, because that would be a monstrously task and not something that I see reasonable, but like just coaching Overwatch, teaching Overwatch, reviewing Overwatch guide. Okay, accuracy, simplicity, prioritization, holism. Yeah, I think this is fine. I think this is totally fine. I actually like these pillars. Rip your mouth. What are you complaining about? I don't know. I'm on my telephone. I don't know how to do this. What's getting modded? What are you saying? If you were to make an Overwatch coaching guide, what would be the things to include? I mean, these seem all fine if we're talking about just from like a one-on-one coaching standpoint, like with how I do. If we're talking about team coaching, it's a lot more complicated than that, but this seems like really good. I like this. I think you've got a really good structure for it already. Literally 1984. What was up with MM Spitfire Brig Bapsig combo? I don't remember. A lot of teams were playing Brig Bap or Brig Zen because if you could play corner sightlines, Brig's utility was like absurdly high on some many points, and also Rally was pretty good as well. A lot of teams were doing Brig over Bap instead of like Brig Zen. I mean, just a lot of teams played Brig Zen. If you could find a way to get on top of the enemy backline, then it was going to be better than the Bap. It was all about playing cover, playing corners, patiently pushing cart, and then getting to a point where you eventually could close the distance, and you could win the Sigma trade because your Brig does more than BAP once you guys get into melee range. The other thing as well is you have to consider is that a lot of teams that went for the Brig combo, I believe it was Dallas was another team that did the Brig Zen, was because we didn't have double flex support. So Dallas didn't have double flex support either. So we had to make do with what we had. Now, can Admiral play BAP? Yes, but Admiral is just not going to perform with, a Gladiator's backline skewed and Shu, or, a Violet and Fen and the Shock. So you had to play to your strengths, play around what you could do, and Brigson was good enough to compete. Does Spilo answer these in stream or something? Yes. When will we get more shirtless Spilo content? Haha, hilarious. I mean, I don't know. We'll see. Now, seriously, how do I counter Tracer's Ana? She's such an annoyance to play in console. She's extremely hard hit. I'm golds in a way, turns out it helps deal with her. Cover is really good. Allows you to play in safer positions versus even flankers. And then honestly, you just need to deal with the Tracer. If the Tracer is legitimately on you, you need to shoot her. Bobby, thank you for the gifted subs! 10 gifted subs to Joe Taru. Robin, oh hey Robin. Even Unit Pinpin, Fell Winter, Cyberfish, Aiden, oh hey Aiden. Ramble, Jex, Bobberclaw, Snowtime. I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. That's really, really generous of you. So, you need to hit your shots on Tracer. And the screeching begins, yes. You need to hit your shots on Tracer. You need to have your cooldowns to go with Tracer. It comes down to, like, let's put it this way. As an Ana player and Grandmaster, when I was Grandmaster, I would survive versus Tracers by positioning myself well and being mechanically competent enough to where I was at least a threat to her so that she had to be careful. If she overstepped or overextended, I'd punish. Or, especially now, hitting one shot on a Tracer is a big, 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 big problem. Because if you hit a shot on a Tracer, you hit one more shot, she's dead, right? So that she has to respect that a lot more with the 75 damage now. Okay, so mechanics, cover positioning. I know that's not exactly a very attractive or big brain answer, but that is the truth. Okay, how do you improve when you feel like you know everything about your character? I've been playing Kiriko since release, went from gold to GM, and I feel like I have an ego that I'm just perfect the character and waste time battering stuff like corners and ability usage and stuff. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. If you really are the best Kiriko in the world and there's nothing that you can improve at, then there's nothing to improve at. But obviously you're probably not, and so there's something you can improve at. And so if you don't feel like wasting time to VOD review that, then I don't know what to tell you. It's like you know that there's stuff that you need to be getting better at, but you somehow have this ego. Like I feel like I'm talking with Jekyll and Hyde here. Don't listen to him, I'm perfect. No, actually, I have a lot to practice. I just really need your assistant. No, we're the greatest of all time. You know, actually, I'm starting to sound more like Green Goblin than anything. But, like, which is it? Do you have room for improvement, or do you not have room for improvement? I mean, obviously, you feel like you know that you have room for improvement, so why not? It might be that you're just bored of practicing this stuff because you've been one-tricking the hero for so long. I mean, playing Kiriko, going from gold to GM, that's a lot of Kiriko. I'm not gonna lie. So maybe you're developing a complex because you've just been playing the hero for too long and you need a fresh breath here. I don't know. I'm honestly not too sure. Okay. Have you considered publishing my album on Bandcamp? I don't know what. I feel like. What is Bandcamp? I can't remember, but I know what it is. All right. No, I haven't. Does anyone? What is Bandcamp? What is Bandcamp?
It's a camp for bands.
What is Bandcamp? Bandcamp. Discover amazing new music and directly supports the artists who make it. What is Bandcamp? I've heard of Bandcamp. I mean, I know it's been around for like ages. Don't call me a boomer. Bandcamp's been around for probably 20 years, no? But I don't know what it is. What does that mean? Is it like Patreon for artists? Yeah, of course. But get out of your cage. Do you know what SoundCloud is? Bro, SoundCloud is older than you are, probably. Get out. It's not a boomer thing. It's just, I just don't know everything about pop culture at all times. Idiot. Spotify for people without a label? But you don't need a label to be on Spotify. Oh my gosh. You know what? Okay, chat, it's happening. It's happening. Unprecedented. Wait for it. Dun-dun. Get rolled, trash! Spotify is hard to be found without a label? Okay, fair enough. Okay, well, I will do this. I will bookmark Bandcamp, and I will come back to it. Thank you. How long do you think a warm-up should last? Or say a bit play, but active FFA? Yeah, that's fine. I don't know. I feel like this is probably more of a physiological thing. and or something that you would need to like test on your own. I don't know the answer to this because it's not something that's really relevant most of the time, so I've never really had to answer this question. I know, I would guess that when you warm up, it probably lasts until you fall asleep to an extent, but I don't know how much. I think your judgment is going to be the best thing. So let's say you warm up for 20 minutes. I don't imagine going for dinner and walk for an hour and then coming back. I don't imagine you'll be fully warm. I imagine it'll be warmer than when you started, and you shouldn't need to do 20 minutes again, but you probably want to do like 3, 4, 5 minutes. You know what I'm saying? And then if you waited like 12 hours, then you probably need to do a 10-minute warm-up again. So I use your judgment here. I think what you think is the case is probably close to the case, but I don't know. That would have to be like a really big case study. How would you recommend someone start coaching Overwatch? Like how to know what you're saying is correct and how do you get well, there's a lot of assumptions here. This is a loaded question. Like how to know what you're saying. You don't always know what you're saying is correct when you first start coaching. You just have to try and get feedback and offer advice. And I started with Overwatch University free VOD reviews on stream and then off stream. So I would start with that and then get more repertoire working with people and offering feedback. And then obviously use resources like myself where I give you advice. I tell people how to coach and then try and learn from my coaching VODs and people like A10 and Egoist Cat. And there's different other coaches out there that do good VOD reviews that you can learn from them and then try and apply your own knowledge. And then you just need to practice. Like I have done thousands of hours of coaching. Thousands of hours. I think I'm at like 5,000 hours somewhere in my Twitch thing. I counted up the amount of hours of coaching. I have thousands of hours. You just need to start coaching. Now, the other loaded question here is how to get jobs. Now, let me be honest with you guys, okay? Let's be honest with you guys. Overwatch League coaches are woefully underpaid for the most part, okay? There are people that are significantly worse at their jobs, but that they are in a more lucrative field that will make legitimately 3 or 4 times what you pay. I was feeling very depressed the other day, not really depressed, but finding out what a lot of people who do programming and things like that aren't even particularly good at their job, how much they make. And just general other labor jobs, right? Just not labor jobs, but you know what I'm saying, right? So it's not a very lucrative field, coaching, okay? In addition to that, you have to be disproportionately good to get a job in most circumstances. And then even then, you still have no job guarantee. Like, I still can tell you straight to your face, and this is a little bit of ego here, that I am good enough to be in the Overwatch League as an assistant coach. Not only am I good enough, but I'm probably better than at least half the coaches that are in Overwatch League in terms of game sense, knowledge, and communication. I know that. Now, some of you guys may or may not... That's an ego thing, but I know that's the case. Thank you for the sub on Diablo. Hope your practice has been going well. But, number one, I've not had 12 different teams knocking on my doors because 12 different teams don't need or can't have coaches. And number two, I'm not interested in getting back into Overwatch League because I don't want to be paid for something that has no ceiling in a situation where I'm not able to travel. So why would I ever put the time to get into Overwatch League right now? There's nothing to get out of it. I like competition, but it doesn't go anywhere for me. And it also it sucked so much life out of me. Now, you think, okay, well, what about what you're doing right now? Okay, well, Chad, I have a Patreon, okay? Okay? You hear me? Now, the Patreon isn't a pity party. It is people paying for the free content that I'm giving them. I could just do private coaching all the live long day, but also part of the reason why I do the content all the live long day is so that people can learn about my coaching. So let me ask you a question. How much money do you think I'm making from private coaching? You know what I'm saying? Now, could I charge more? Yes. Could I advertise myself a little bit better? Yes, we're working at that. But I'm telling you, it's really hard. And I, again, respectfully, like the Overwatch League assistant coach ego, when it comes to one-on-one private coaching, I think I'm the best. I'm sure other coaches that do this exact same thing also think they're the best. John Overwatch probably thinks he's the best. I always still probably thinks he's the best, right? That's okay. You know, I'll give them that. They'll give me that. But we're in the top 0.01% of people that do one-on-one coaching. And yet, Iostux doesn't make it. If Iostux couldn't do this, if he had a mortgage to pay, and I'm pretty sure John is doing collegiate on the side. So I'm the best at private coaching and Overwatch in the world, I think. And yet I have a Patreon. And right, John recently retired. He couldn't even do it long term. Valorant and Apex coaches charge $50 minimum. I mean, it depends on the demand, right? Like, I'm probably going to increase prices at some point, marginally, probably by $5. But I couldn't do right now a $15 increase. I couldn't do it. My demand would go, you know? It sucks, but that's just the nature of where we're at right now. So, I don't know. So, how to get jobs? Good luck. Because even if you are the best in Overwatch League or in private coaching, you're going to have a hard time. Can you explain the higher and lower health pool heroes like? And this, I don't want this to be a pity party thing. I hate, but you guys know I'm always going to be upfront and honest with you, and that's just the case of the matter, right? I love my job. I really do. I have had more fun the last 4 or 5 months. Maybe not 4 or 5 months, but since London, September, October, November, December. Yeah, about 4.5 months, right? Than I've had with just about any job. It's been a blast, but it's not been. It's still tough financially. It's still tough. You know, I think we're slowly getting there, but you cannot rest. You have to keep cracking at it. Can you explain the higher and lower health pools like Tracer and Reaper and where they would fall into hero dynamics for each character? Like, why would one character need more health than the other, and how does that affect their kit and how they play? So generally, the way the health pools work is with something that I call latent survivability. So if you look at a hero like Mei, you might think, oh, this hero is super survivable because she has 200 HP and because she has Ice Block, right? But the problem with that is Mei is a lot of her utility, whether it's the freeze or the ice wall, encourages her to play in positions and in situations where she's at a very high risk of death. And so with only 200 HP, she would really struggle to do what she needs to do. So can you imagine Reaper with 300, or 300, what am I saying? With 200 HP, he would have a really hard time contesting tanks or flankers, right? He would not, or backlines, excuse me. He would not, he needs that extra survivability to actually compensate for the level of aggression that he has, and the fact that his survival tools are very one-dimensional. Now, you look at a hero like an Ashe, she's not playing in a lot of situations where 250 HP is necessary. And then if you look at a hero like Tracer, well, okay, then why does Tracer only have 150? It's because of all the other latent, or we could also add another nice cute little term here, inherent, built-in survivability of having a recall and blinks, right? And these heroes do not have those because objectively, recall and blinks are better than Wraith and Ice Block. It's just not a debate. Same thing with a Genji, right? Deflect, wall climb, dash, double jump, they're better than Ice Block. It's just better. It's not as obvious as why it's better for a new idiot player, right? That's kind of rude, but for a newer player. But these inherent mobility tools are better for their survivability, so they don't need that HP. Thank you, Tabata, I appreciate it. Hitbox sizes, I assume, as well? Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of factors in it. Yeah, that's a great point too. I mean, you look at a hero like Reinhardt. Why does Reinhardt have more HP than, even though he has a shield, than a Junker Queen, right? Hitboxes, the distance at which he needs to cross to actually do what he needs to do. Yeah. Any tips on playing Tracer against Torbjorn? Avoid his turret or break his turret. It's, to me, as simple as that. Or time your engage once the turret has already activated on another target. is the big thing. So if you initiate the trade and the turret locks on you, then you're going to have a hard time. So either follow up, so once the turret is already locked on somebody else, or break the turret, or engage in a location where the turret is not relevant. Or on a target where the turret is not relevant. When to use crouch spam on Widowmaker Ashe? Better to constantly spam with AD strike or more scenario based? Very scenario based. The big thing is similarly to like when you're coaching a Roadhog, when should I flank on left or when should I flank on right? I think the key thing that you have to consider is the mental game is as important as the objective, what is good and what is bad. So what I mean by that is crouching is good, objectively good. And there's probably times when crouching is good and there's probably times when crouching is bad. But the most important time with crouch spam on Widowmaker and Ashe is to be unpredictable. So by the very nature of understanding the value of unpredictability, I can't give you a bread and butter, this is how you AD strike. If you do A, then you do D, then you go A, D. It's going to depend, right? You need to be unpredictable with it. That's the whole point, right? So I think the idea is that please use crouch. Probably consider, you could probably factor in when you're taking your shots as to when you should crouch. So crouching when the enemy team when the enemy widow wants to shoot, but not when you want to shoot, so you don't have to make that micro adjustment, but you're making her make that micro adjustment. But it's more about being unpredictable than it is about finding the perfect right or wrong answer. Okay, where do you start when trying to get on a team? I'm GM2 in a PC and a hit scan looking for team and just get my footing scene. Twitter, LFT, find teams that are looking for trials in the competitive Overwatch Discord. I think you can try messaging a moderator on the OW or asking around for the OW as well. I don't know if Overwatch 2, I think they have an LFT Discord channel as well. Overwatch University probably has one as well. You could ask around to different coaches like Natter. I think maybe Elo Hell. I'm actually in Open Division Discord. There's an Open Division Discord, so you can explore public servers and type in Open Division Overwatch. I think there'll be one in there. So people ask me this question a lot, and sadly, I don't always have great answers for this one because I haven't done that a lot. And even when I was looking for a team as a coach, it's been literally ages. So cheers, mate. But I would just slam your head up against the wall, reach out as many people as you can, try all the Discords, post in maybe the competitive Overwatch subreddit might have some ideas. But I would start now. Do your best. How much booze is enough for 2 or 3 hours of intense comp on Overwatch? I mean, normally I don't like people answering my questions in Ask Spilo, just general rule. But yeah, this is accurate. So. 2 LDR, get a healthy amount of sleep, and you will be fine. Okay. Can you do a VOD review of LH Cloudy and point out what he does that works and what doesn't? When I watch him, I just feel like he's feeding. I don't know how he makes Orion work. If you put in content suggestion ideas, so Spilo stuff here, content suggestion, if you put a link of a YouTube video or a Twitch timestamp of him playing, I wouldn't mind reviewing it. It's not a bad idea. It'd be fun. What do you think keeps Masters player from being GM and beyond? Everything. Mechanics, mentality, hero pool, cooldown usage, understanding, patience, grind, time spent in the game. There's no one thing that differs Masters players from GM. There's no one thing that differs Bronze players from Silver. It's a little bit of everything, and it's extremely dependent on the player. This is probably a question of what is keeping me from hitting GM and beyond, because I assume you're a Masters player, but I don't know. Every player is different, right? Every player is different. Okay. If Owl folds after this year, do you realistically see any future investment from Western Tier 1 orgs that were watching their West pre-Owl? Yes, I actually do. I think what's the most likely scenario if Owl does fold is Blizzard probably relaxes its restriction on third-party programs and third-party sponsorships, and we see something very similar to like the Saudi E-Leagues, but in the West. So maybe it's in London, maybe it's in LA, but we'll have probably small tournaments here and there that either contenders teams or semi-pro teams compete in. Probably will not be as lucrative and as consistently paid as OWL, but it might be it's probably be more of a, I assume it will go more to a grassroots competitive scene. I don't think the competitive scene in Overwatch will die entirely. I think that's extremely unlikely for such a popular game. But I think it will become more grassroots. And in a way, that might actually be the best thing for it. That would be almost a best case scenario if it does work out that way. As bad as it will suck, it will be like this bloated inflation esports bubble that will actually pop. People are going to hurt. People are going to suffer. People are going to lose their jobs. But then in the long run, I think that the esport, I think it's a pretty common pretty agreed upon point that Overwatch League was not exactly the most healthy thing for Overwatch esports. It was too forced, too bloated, poorly planned, poorly managed, and then it's all kind of falling down around us right now. So going back to a solid grassroots, well managed start would not be a bad thing. Yeah, I think the 2008 market crash. Yeah. It's just when things get too big for their own britches, they're gonna fall. There was something on the competitive Overwatch subreddit the other day that people were predicting, the 100 million, Overwatch League, $100 million. I mean, it's just absurd. Like, Overwatch was just not a good enough esport. It was not balanced well enough. The COVID killed it. But even before COVID, the travel schedule was ridiculous. The game was not balanced well enough. We had absolute radio silence after Overwatch 2. It was just, I'm not normally a guy that trashes on Blizzard. I think that it's overdone, and it's just lazy way to try and get views. But Blizzard has done a horrific job with Overwatch League since probably season 1, starting with Brig, and it went downhill from there. And that this is not even me working within the scenes, so there's probably a lot more dead rat odor behind the scenes that we're not even aware of. Esports bubble is on the way out, but that doesn't mean esports is on the way out. It just means that it's going to be a much smaller version of what it was, much more a realistic representation of the interest and capitalistic return on investment, right? I just don't see any way that like teams are going to be making millions of dollars in revenue to justify the expenses. Esports just doesn't pay anything. I think. Okay, somehow my mechanics are getting worse. I play Flex CPS in the IGL for my OD team. My theory game since it's gotten a lot better in the past couple months from a constant scrimmage and battle review, but for a reason my aim is getting worse. Mechanics get worse and performing worse in scrimmages. Practice more. Practice your mechanics more. And also get more sleep. And also make sure that you are taking care of yourself with your, make sure you're playing, and make sure that you're taking care of yourself physically with your sleep, with your mentality, and with your health, when generally what you're eating, how often you're playing. Mechanics are always related to 2 things, and only 2 things: health, mental and physical, and playing the game. That's it. Not even really truly understanding. It's just health, mental and physical, and playing the game. And sometimes those 2 things kind of clash, right? You play the game too much, your mental health goes down the line, or you don't take care of yourself and your mechanics, but that's it. It's that simple. It's very simple, but it's not easy. So in your example, you need to kind of look at yourself objectively and be like, what am I missing? Am I playing the game too much? Am I playing the game enough? Am I not playing the game enough? Am I not taking care of myself physically? Am I not taking care of myself mentally? Am I putting myself under too much pressure? Because lack of confidence can also lead to poor mechanics, even if you practice a lot. So something to consider. I know it's not a very easy answer, but I hope that at least gets you looking in the right direction. Would you consider a Scrim Pro meta right now and why? I have absolutely no idea. As far as I know, it's some version of Ramatra, Lucio, Kiriko that's very popular on maps where it's playable. I've been helping out a contenders team with their trials, but we've also been playing a lot of different heroes, so I don't think there is a very serious pro meta right now because we don't have contenders going on right now. Overwatch League is in the off season, so I don't think there is a really serious Scrim Pro meta right now, but I wouldn't be shocked if it was some form of Ramatra. What do I do on Valentine's Day to try not to think my ex getting railed like Sojourn when I'm alone? Just like the high one. I don't know, bro. There's a lot of fish in the sea, and I mean that in a respectful way. I think for you, it's about self-improvement's always a priority, right? And as frustrating as it might be right now, I mean, okay, let me try the sympathetic route here, because I know exactly what you're talking about. I remember not the getting railed one, but I got my heart broken. I was rather a pretty bad flirt, and I know I broke a lot of girls' hearts, which I didn't purposefully do, but flirting was too much fun. But yeah, long story short, I mean, I definitely had some times where I was legit bawling my eyes out back in high school, man. It was rough, you know what I'm saying? But you get over it. You get over it. You better yourself. You mature. You grow as a person. Sometimes those negative things kind of force change, right? They force adaptation in yourself to be a better person. And not better by just more muscular and more confident, but also just a generally more considerate and kind person, and more thoughtful and more putting priority in the right things. And I guess the way to look at it is just like, I wouldn't change anything. It's gonna be a rough day. It might be a rough day. So make it a productive day. You know? Make it a productive day. Accomplish something. Make some progress on it. Make some progress on a video. Go out and get some exercise. You know? Go out and meet some new people. Try a new skill. You know what I'm saying? Or like Arietta says, relax. You know, take some time. Do something enjoyable. I don't know. I think it's going to be a hard day. But you'll get over it. You'll move on. Better yourself. Move on. There's nothing really that I can really say that's just going to be like, oh, of course. This too shall pass. You know? It's like whenever you go to somebody's funeral. You know what I'm saying? Somebody's taking it really hard. You know? That you really shouldn't worry. There's not a lot you can say. You know? You just need to be there for the person and encourage them, and you know, this too shall pass. Grind some rank. Same thing for you. This too shall pass. Make it a good day. You know, make it a good day. And so that even when it gets rough, you know, that you didn't waste the day. You didn't waste the time. I don't know. Like I said, don't remember that like. Your ability to respond to really crappy things is kind of a commentary of who you are as a person. So when something crappy like this happens, where you feel crappy or a really unfortunate situation, or it's like, that could be the impetus for something really, really good that otherwise wouldn't have happened if something negative happened. Like, I know for me, when I got my heart broken, that was a really turning moment in my life, honestly, in a positive way. Not immediately even, but like, that I can draw a lot of lines that I improved myself as a person back to that one moment. Tips for Echo: how to do the sticky bomb release bomb. You need to practice it. Tips for Echo: utilize high ground as much as you possibly can, or verticality whenever you possibly can. And try and position in a way to where you have your shift to get out and not have to rely on your shift getting in most circumstances. Exactly, Arietta. It's exactly Corpu. You're gonna feel crappy about it. It's okay. It's really not the end of the world. Don't try and overanalyze it. Don't try and not feel sad. Just feel sad. It's sad. You're going to feel sad. Okay. Like, you're a human being. You care. People care about things, so you're going to feel sad. So don't try and not feel sad. Just be. The quick sticky release, if you know what I mean. I actually don't know. I do not. I'm not familiar with that animation. Sadly, I'm sorry. Do I leave when she hits a body shot? Use your judgment. If you think that there is if you're looking at the situation like, I'm not really going to put out a lot of pressure by shooting this Kiriko right now, then it's not worth the risk. It's always risk versus reward, right? Is there a higher risk when the Kiriko hits a body shot? Yes. But then you need to look at each situation and be like, is the reward for me sticking here high enough for me to risk getting headshot? Because you will die to Kiriko as Tracer. It is unavoidable. You can't just not shoot a Kiriko because you got hit by a body shot. But you need to look at the situation and decide, is it worth the risk of me staying in there? How would you get about getting over the hurdle of post-placement demotivation? Every day with placements, I lose all desire to keep pushing. I mean, I don't have an answer here. Can I share that? Yeah, sure. You can share the clip. Yeah. Because if you're only playing for the placement, then you don't. Okay, we could definitely nitpick the structure, the idea of the post-placement motivation. I'm blaming Blizzard for at least part of that. However, on your end of things, if you aren't super motivated to play after you've placed, then anything I say is not really going to motivate you. You know what I'm saying? You either play because you want to play, or you don't play because you don't want to play. And I'm sure Blizzard's way of structuring it is not exactly doing you any favors, but I can't be like, oh, just play and it'll be fine. I want to keep going, but hitting play just feels painful. I mean, then that's a issue with the game, and or how much you enjoy the game. I can't help you there. I really can't help you there. I mean, it could definitely help if you have a goal so that you have something to work on that's not associated with the rank up, right? I think that's obviously a healthy way of looking at it. It's like, oh, I'm going to be practicing X instead of just I'm playing for the next placement, because obviously playing for the placement isn't the best thing. But outside of that, I don't have a lot. Fix me? Can't do it. No. All right, what is a quick release here? I don't know. No idea how you do this. But I can tell you that if it's actually a legitimate thing, it's going to get patched. Because it's obviously not working as intended. This isn't like a tech. It's like a tech that's clearly an abuse of the animation. So it's going to get patched. So I'm not sure. It's kind of cool though. Corpu, you're killing me. Playing against Pharmacy and Tank feels even more helpless than in Overwatch 1. What is your best way for me to play in a Pharmacy? Which tank is the best pick? It depends on what you want to practice, right? Like, you either can directly deal with the Pharmacy as a diva by pressuring her when she gets too aggressive, even if you can't kill her, or you just ignore the Pharmacy entirely and play your game elsewhere. Like, a Reinhardt can play in a Pharmacy because he can absolutely beat the ever-living crap out of any other squishy or whatever that's on the enemy team that he can chase down and pressure. So you either deal with the Pharmacy directly or you avoid the Pharmacy directly. This question gets asked a lot, and there's no real obvious or easy answer for it. What's with the legion of cats in my DMs? That's a good question. There's a lot of furry creatures in my DMs. Yeah, I think like the best tank to pick versus Pharmacy is almost certainly going to be Diva, because she can ignore the Pharmacy or she can go directly for the Pharmacy, and obviously having Matrix for Rockets, having M1 on Mercy, but also having Matrix for Barrage is really, really strong as well. But every tank can work versus Pharmacy. You just either bypass the Pharmacy entirely or you pressure her directly. Not every tank can do it directly, so you need to ignore the Pharmacy and get value elsewhere. Remember, Pharmacy is 2 players, 2 people, 2 resources invested. So if you ask me, is this the equivalent of like, how do I play against a Kiriko Lucio? You know what I'm saying? How do I play up against a Roadhog Genji? You know what I'm saying? It's 2 people on the enemy team. You will not be able to just simply pick a tank and completely shut down 2 people. It just doesn't happen. You'll be able to do better, but remember, they are putting a lot of investment into that one group, so you need to keep that in mind. And somehow people like their minds merge and they're on Pharmacy, but they also have 2 other supports elsewhere. That's not how it is. What's with the minimum amount of money you'd be able to get back into Owl? I mean, it was 46k. It was 45. Wait, it was 45k prior to self-employment tax, because the way that I was employed, and I assume this is the way with most coaches, it's with you're an independent contractor, so you have to pay taxes, as if so that's not fun. I ended up getting around 40k after taxes. I don't know. Probably 80k. I mean, close to double. Yeah, close to double. Yeah, I hate when companies do that too, but close to double. Another question related to the stream rant. Have you thought about opening an LLC for your coaching and open up for some business use of the home deductions as well as subscription fees and software and contract labor? That's not a bad idea. I think I'm still able to use tax write-offs for thumbnails and editing because they are all part of my self-employment. So, but yeah, maybe. It would depend upon the cost of the LLC versus what I would save elsewhere. But I am able to use, for example, like Baggins charges basically nothing, but all my thumbnails are obviously tax write-offs. A lot of my work expenses are tax write-offs, things like that. But obviously, tax write-off is subtracting negative from a negative, but it's not necessarily positive in of itself. So even if I break even on that, it's still a problem. But I appreciate the suggestion. Thank you, Aria. I appreciate it. All right, chat. We're gonna end it up. We're gonna end off stream. We're gonna be back this Saturday. I don't know what we have this Saturday. We have coaching on Saturday, obviously. I don't know if we have anything special on Saturday. We might have something special. Next Tuesday is going to be our collaboration with Jake Overwatch, so stay tuned for that. Exclamation mark coaching, exclamation mark Discord. We got a lot of YouTube stuff behind the scenes. So I think like 12 videos or something absurd queued up. So, and a lot of really, really cool stuff. Some stuff from stream, some stuff from off stream. So yeah, check it out. Any chance you could publish the VOD for the stream? Yeah, so the way Twitch is working right now, I'm not sure if it's because I always open stream with this song, is it doesn't automatically publish my streams, but as soon as I finish stream, the first thing I do is I always publish the VOD. So if you're not seeing it, I actually need to automatically publish Twitch streams. I need to, somehow the setting keeps getting reverted. Twitch is like, it's messing with my brain. But yeah, it'll be published first thing as soon as I finish stream. Any longer coaching videos coming? Yes, I believe so. Now, for some of you guys in chat, you guys are like, oh, I want more of the long form coaching content, or the VOD reviews, the full VOD reviews. Well, those should generally be always linked in the description of the video, but just in case, even if you want ones that are not linked, Spilo stuff in my Discord, chat, look at this. Look at this. Look at this. I know not everybody wants to use the Twitch format, but a lot of these are YouTube recently as well. Use this. It is free. It is free. It is free. Okay. Yeah. Okay, makes sense now then. I put that in my Twitch bio. Man, guys always come up with good ideas. I'm gonna write that down. I'll write it down in a second. All right, chat. We're gonna head out. I'll see you on Saturday. Loves and kisses! ! Coaching. Thank you guys for hopping in. And yeah, Spilo out.